Fuck. Alright, we should be here. We should be here, we should be here, we should be here. That the gap is going on. That's more than a little early. My brother in Christ. I've been a part of the Pokemon community since I was like 9. Hence why I'm getting this rant out the fucking way. Focus on me, bitch. Thank you. How much have you read? I've only read 10 chapters since last night. I did make another video talking about it. And that video basically came down to everybody come join the stream because I've got a pretty solid idea on what the fuck's going on. But I want to talk about other things right now. So because I feel like life is circling itself over and over. I forgot to put hashtags and everything on, for fuck's sake. Alright, let me do that. Let me do that. Before we get into the actual shit show of... How many tweets is this? 7 tweets that I've got. Because, yikes. Yikes. First of all, let's go here. Let's grab you, fuck off. Come back here. Joshua alive? Oh yeah, I'm wide fucking awake now. Alright, the hashtags have been sufficiently added. Alright. Chat. How many of y'all have been a part of the Pokemon community? The YouTube scene of the Pokemon community at the very least. Yeah, we're early. I want to get this rant out the fucking way for purposes you people will not know of right now. A long while now. Which is funny because I saw you talking about Pokemon Showdown in the chat, so that's surprising. I haven't interacted with them since forever. I'm on and off with them. Yo, man. Still that play. I don't know what's going on. I legitimately have no fucking idea why YouTube isn't letting you guys go back. It's actually infuriating. Your friend hosted a tournament? Alright, how many of y'all know the name Game Boy Luke then? Even if you're not a part of the PokeTuber sphere, you've definitely heard of the name Game Boy Luke. Haven't been the same since Omega and Sapphire. The only reason I use Pokemon Showdown is to document a couple of teams that I had playing through games. That's it. Ah, that's why I also do. But yeah, how many of y'all heard the name Game Boy Luke? Or know of Game Boy Luke? Alright, let's get Lukey's channel up real fucking quick. Well, let's not be calling him Lukey now. Maybe we should. Because this is going to be relevant for the first portion of today's show. Whoa, he's lost subscribers quick. This is Luke. Alright, big ass PokeTuber. Right? Wait a minute, let me just do that real quick. Big ass PokeTuber. I haven't heard that name in a while. What happened now? Yeah. Alright, he's been in the scene for a good while. Found Luke. I was year 7. Around about the same time I found out about King Nappy and all of them. And brother, he made a comment. He made a big comment. And it's all because of one of his former good friends, Rich, who is also another PokeTuber on the scene. For obvious reasons. But for now, big ass YouTuber, been in the scene for how many years? A long time. What the fuck? No, I'm not gonna question it. Oh, he's definitely doing videos on. But you've seen him, right. So here's Rich. Rich is a cool little guy, right? He's very new in the scene right now. He's got a little over 100,000 subscribers, and he's like the embodiment of like the most lovely man alive. He had a fiance back in January. Well, he had a fiance back in September, and then this came out. His fiance's called Taylor, by the way. In the stream settings, find enable DVR, turn it on, save changes. That would make sense. Can I make this any fucking bigger? I can. I'm just gonna. Yeah. Let's just. You know what? Yeah. There you go. Taylor was his fiance. Just found out that Taylor cheated on me with Luke on New Year's. We've been broken up since January. And I just found out someone else 5 months later. It's going to take some time to think. And he's been on a tiny bit of a spiral since. Tiny bit. He also made the distinction that he is talking about specifically Game Boy Lugia. Oh, brother, it gets worse. It gets so much fucking worse. So if we keep scrolling up, it's going to be all this. Thank you so much for the supporting the situation. I really feel all the love. This time I'm going to find more information. Luke and Taylor went behind my back in more ways as well. Apart from just cheating, Luke and Taylor are the two worst humans I've met in my life. For example, while I was healing in the past 5 months, destroyed, empty, crying, Luke and Taylor had been flirting behind my back. Taylor would intentionally post things on Instagram to get Luke to respond. That isn't even scratching the surface. Just want to point out that this wrong. I'm not with Taylor anymore. The thing that is evil is Luke toying in my face about all the good friends and therefore doing this for a while. Shit behavior. Shit friend behavior. Terrible friend behavior. Luke said I don't have to reach. Oh god. Anyway. I know he said more. Oh wait, there we go. We're going past certain things. Anyway, Luke made a comment. Hence the long-ass fucking tweet, right? Saying, and I quote, I understand I have a lot to answer for right now. But I understand but I wanted to at the very least acknowledge that what I did was incredibly wrong. I am remorseful for my actions and I won't make excuses. Rich should have been informed immediately after we made out. We did not sleep with each other before the breakup. This is important. This is important. But that does not change the hurt or betrayal that caused by our actions. I've been handling a lot of this in private. I understand I owe a public apology, and I've been around compromise. Yeah. I'll get around to composing something that I've been a little bit more. I also understand that a tweet like this won't be satisfactory. I just wanted to say something. It didn't feel right to be silent. 5 months after he did this. 5 months. 5 months since this happened. 5 big old fucking numbers right there, brother. A surprise tool which will help us type comment. I'm sorry for disappointing you all. I am incredibly sorry to Rich for everything that I did, and that goes from hiding this, attempting to be your friend whilst hiding it, and including recording content and spending time with you. I'm really sorry. By the way, while they were recording one video, she was in his house after the breakup. 2 months after the breakup. They were doing a cage lock. She was in his house. And they were, like, making jokes about the ordeal. And he was laughing. Loudly. Anyway. It was a wrong decision to withhold this information, regardless of how scared I was. I understand it's not my place to decide when I should have spoken to him and cleared this up or led him to even more pain. To be transparent, Taylor is my ex and we both had residual feelings for one another. About a week or so after the kiss, Taylor broke up with Rich and came to me in March. We continued talking there. Also when the recording happened. I also understand that there is more to be discussed about me and I'm not ignoring it. There's a lot more to discuss about you, Luke. It's a lot to process right now, and I'll try not to address these things at a better time. Right now, this shouldn't be about me, more about Rich. Fuck off. Once again, I'm genuinely sorry. I'm going to step away from the internet for a moment. I'll say more later, but for now, I wanted to acknowledge this directly instead of staying silent. Thank you for reading. I can and will be better. Ludicrous tweet, knowing everything that came out afterwards. Like the same fucking day afterwards. Right? Like, look, the comments is gonna be fucking insane. And I'll get to that at a different point. And when I say everybody in the community that has been partners with Luke, done anything with Luke, like Padders is one of his longest lasting friends in the community for the better half of a decade, come out to make fucking statements like this. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't zoom in. The last few days have been hard. I found it almost impossible to properly process what had happened. The more I tried, the more empty, upset, and confused I feel. I never thought that a person that I've been so close for over a decade could cause this much pain and heartbreak. To myself, my friends, and most of all, to Rich. A person I have nothing but love and respect for, and who deserves so much better. I truly hope that anyone who causes this kind of hurt is able to grow and become a better person. Thankfully, there's been a lot of support shown to Rich. However, there's also been a shocking amount of negative speculation directed at pretty much everyone and even slightly involved. This situation has reminded me how complex humans are. It is impossible, really, to know another person's thoughts and feelings. You know yourself. Please be kind to each other. Which, all of them, Shady Penguin, fucking United Gamer, Jay Vanta, a man who's not been in the community since 2018 after the whole King and Nappy discourse. If any of you know who the fuck that person is, a person that Luke helped bring down, and we will have to talk about in a fucking minute. And if you're not updated on what the fuck happened there, I'll happily do it because it's a shit show. That's a shit show. This all sounds like way too parasocial. Why is this public? Why are they spreading their private life and social lives? Because they have done for 10 years. Because that's all they've done for 10 years. They've done several marathons, living in each other's houses. And all of these people have been great friends. And Rich has done nothing but crash the fuck out. Who the fuck? I'm assuming you're talking about King Nappy. Oh boy, that's a name we'll get to in a minute. If I go on to... Yeah, anyway, since all this has happened about Luke, been found out that not only is he a shitty friend, he's a high-key shitty person, so much information has come out about him. And I feel like back in 2018, we live in the King Nappy situation. Because of a guy called Hoodlum Callum coming out to be like, King Nappy is a predatory fucking weirdo who likes to enforce sexual shit on the people and be just the biggest prick possible. And that was a whole week-long discussion, or discourse even. And because of that, and obviously with that, all the discourse came out about him, blah, blah, blah. The exact same thing's happening with Luke now. Especially with these kind of tweets from fucking, what's his name? Tom Evo? Right? Let's shrink this just a tiny bit. Right? This is gonna be a fucking read. I first met Luke in 2015 when he had 5,000 subscribers, fan call. I'd always been grateful for this call because I met my literal best friend of 13 years there and many more pals who I could still talk to today. We kept this group going for a while, and Luke would occasionally join in. And it was when I realized that he was a fucking strange bloke. Luke would join calls and sit and brag to a bunch of kids about sex that he was having. He was 21, by the way. He later, obviously, let me just move chat right there. 11. Bragging about having sex as 21. Are we fucking serious? Yeah, it's Pokemon Draw. I just want to get this out the way for different purposes that y'all will find out in like a week or so. Yeah, good evening, Arlen. Yeah. One was about how he had insane drunk sex on the bathroom floor at a house party with some girl that he went into pretty into detail about. And then when he would, like, and I shit you not, start beatboxing the Sonic Heroes theme song, and then would ask us all that it was good and applause him. Some cult shit, man. Fucking weird. Luke's always been like this, by the way. Always has been. Even since he was 18 starting a YouTube channel, he's been like this. Luke Boy Gaming or some shit cheating. Game Boy Luke cheated on... Game Boy Luke got his friend's fiance to cheat on him on New Year's. And then, like, a week later, they broke up. And we're only finding out now, like, 5 months later. There was another case of a girl who he fancied... Who fancied therein. I won't name her, but she was making videos, so he blew up her channel up constantly, plugging her shit in an attempt to get what he wanted. Strange. Oh, this is probably Eevee. Oh, I didn't even clock that. Find out in a week as Josh the fiance was in the room with them. No, Luke's from fucking Newcastle and lives in London. I live in, like, next to Liverpool, mate. Fuck that. He crashed his car when he worked at Greg's back in the day and couldn't afford it, so he would start crying on call, sharing the sub story, and asked us all for money. I gave Luke every penny that I had. Yeah, I'm a wet wipe, I know. But, like, it was 30 quid. Wasn't much I could do, but I was 14. Then, a few months later, I made a plug chat on Skype with me and friends to all share videos. Ha ha ha. Luke got added to it, proceeded to call it gay. I stood up against him, and he basically told him if I didn't like it to fuck off. He continued to tweet at me, literally harassing me when I was at school, age 14. I don't have screens. That account is long gone. I snapped at Luke and made a low blow about his school experience, which wasn't cool, and I was also a child who was crying and trying to win a fight with a 21-year-old. So we got all of his mates, some big ones, to tweet about me and how evil I was. Anyway, strange fucking guy, man. None of this surprises me. I've been telling everyone who would listen that he's fucking weird. So here's my bit. Forever and perpetually a child. Forever and perpetually a child. And there's dozens of posts like this. Dozens. Dozens and dozens and dozens. But one that came to me to surprise was Sacred Almighty. I like Sacred Almighty. He was one of my like comfort PokeTubers back in the day, before I grew up. Like a little bit. The fucking information. The information that he has on this very white boy is insane shit. Is insane shit. England ain't that big, and we all know that your family is famous and you like to party. So who knows what you've gone up to in the New Year's? But alright, sure. You're just talking about this for no reason at all. No, I'm talking about this for a reason. I'm talking about this because, one, these are a group of people that I've been watching for a decade. I clocked that frame 1. Holy, yeah. Secondly, never met any of these people. And my family is only famous in the town that I live in currently. I thought it was another white boy with tats on his arm. Probably. There's fucking dozens of them. Anyway, he'd love to say shit like this. All the fucking time. I called his friends out like 2-3 years ago and it meant nothing. I did it for the fame. We haven't really been close friends. I don't, man. This is about King Nappy, another man that he helped cancel. Rightfully so. Nappy's a predatory dick. And kind of had that king in his name for a fucking reason. I remember finding out that he knew about the Nappy shit. Tried to meditate it, isolate Nappy, and fate gay to leech off him and grow his channel disappeared. Oh my god, I forgot Luke faked being gay for a while. He didn't fake being gay. He faked being bisexual to one of the biggest PokeTubers on the platform who was trying to be predatory towards him. You know how insane of a sentence that is? You faked being bisexual to leech off a predator that you knew was a predator? Fucking insanity. I've actually not read these yet, though. Oh, yeah. He 1000% knew it all, but he didn't want to say anything until it was safe to when somebody else did. He always made it sound like he was groomed, but I never knew him back then, so obviously this is one side of the story of. He was living in Patterson with Cal, and I was around the house. This is quite a baller move. Oh, that fucking ludicrous. Saw him working in an intro and was like, that shit looks like Nappy's intro. Shit. And he was like, it is, we're doing a series. Blew my fucking mind. Cal had given permission, but it was all so fucked. The last straw was him complaining about Dinah's vagina to everyone who would listen. I blocked him after that. Brother. And then, obviously, Sacred came up with a 4-hour-long fucking thing talking and complaining about Luke. About Luke's name being fucking taken from Sacred as a joke. From, like, not one series he ever came up with ever to be an actual fucking thing. From, Luke is a big name in the community because he used to do all of the animatic intros, all of the fucking layouts that PokeTubers used to did. Like, he was a part of it all. And apparently he didn't even do half of that shit. He just got the money for it, paid someone else half the money, and was just living his happy old days. You're right, Quibs. If someone wrote this in a novel, everyone would be like, nah, that does not happen. Unfortunately, knowing this is not the first or the second time this has happened in the community in the past decade, unfortunately, it just fucking is. We're not going to listen to the Sacred thing because that's a 4-hour-long fucking podcast, and I don't want to bore you all people. I don't want to bore you people. We're here for different fucking things, obviously. But hearing all of that play out, as someone who's been watching these dickheads for years and years and years, ludicrous. Even Lex made a fucking post, and she's just a wife of one of the men. This whole situation just seems weird as fuck. Yeah! And I don't get how anyone can just... The thing that's boggled my mind when reading all of these tweets, it's that people are defending him. People are defending Luke, knowing that he made racist comments, knowing that he leached off a fucking predator, knowing that he leached off other people in the community doing animatics for him, which was what he was known for. Like, stealing content from all of his mates, getting a couple of them to retire as he was, like, flexing money and shit. I couldn't find the tweet, which really fucking annoyed me, but I'd been home for like 10 minutes, so I don't even fucking blame myself. Anyway, his old roommate, not Callum, fucking Umbreon, whatever the hell his name was, came out to be like, yeah, no, he said all the racist shit. Just casually. He also loved to flex his money for some fucking reason. What's up with British Pokemon people then? It's only Luke. The first one was Nappy, and before then it was Sylvie, who was Canadian. How are people trying to defend this? No, this is not a British thing. This is a Pokemon, like, YouTube thing. It's Twitter. What did you expect? Shit's crazy. Oh, yeah. It's absolutely fucking ludicrous that all of this is going on and people are like, oh, we forgive you, Luke. It was only a couple of racist tweets. You only helped your friend's fiance cheat on him. And, like, make her stay at your house. There was also another tweet about him lying about him not having sex. Or at least, him lying about having sex, at the very least. Like, they didn't fuck when she was engaged to him, but a couple months later, they were fucking again. And she was meant to go over again, but cancelled a trip and go on holiday with her parents because the game was that bad. Brother in Christ. How can you just be this big of a dick? How can you be this big in the community and be that much of a twat? How can you learn so much from King Nappy, who has done objectively worse things? Objectively. It's a Venn diagram between Pokemon and YouTube is weird, isn't it? It's where it's weird. Yeah, it's like Minecraft YouTubers and being predators. It's all one giant fucking circle, right? And where it will inevitably loop back around into being, you get enough money, you become a predator, with a handful of people coming out to be like, yeah, we're not like that. Oh, did you want to come out, Gail? You want to come out? You can come out. That's fine. Oh. There you go. Don't ask why the cat's in the cage. I'll show you later. Usually the bigger the yard, the weirder it is in my experience. Oh yeah, in my experience as well. Like, I find pretty much every YouTuber I've ever worked with to be fucking strange. The only one that I've worked with that wasn't actually that strange was Lauren Gray. This was fucking years ago. But I was talking with her manager with this fucking group of people trying to help her out on this music video. And the manager was strange. The manager was very predatory. But bear in mind that, like, she was chill. For a handful of conversations I had with her. Who else was, like, quite chill? Danny Vinken. He was sound. Spoke very little English. But, like, he paid well. The Minecraft thing ought to not be a surprise to anyone, though, right? Yeah, Minecraft and Roblox, same old deal. You get big enough, you just become a predator. Like, I don't know how, why, when that fucking happens, but there's only a handful of people that are just, like, absolutely fucking not, no. Thankfully, Rex, one of my mutuals, one of my good buddies of, like, almost a decade now, has done nothing but call out the predatory actions of fucking Roblox. Something I learned a while ago is to never put it with anyone in pedestal. Appreciate the work if deserved. If not, toss them out. People are always messed up in some way. Oh yeah, people are fucked. People are tapped. My friend X, I don't know how to talk about it, is complaining about the heat. Which, valid. I don't wear shorts, and this is the first time I've worn shorts in years. Another Roblox predator got revealed, like, yesterday or some. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, if I message Rex right now to be like, hey, apparently another Roblox guy got revealed to be a predator, he'd jump on call and would rant for hours. That is something I can promise you that would happen. I heard someone say something about people being big in every aspect. Like to get big. They eventually, big egos, personalities, be big dicks. Yeah. I'm wearing shorts, have no blanket on me. I'm still dying. I'm wearing a tank, a cap, window is wide open. I have a fan up there blowing wind on me. just far enough away to where you people can't hear it. And I am melting. My brother in Christ. I'm wearing shorts. If you know me, you know I don't wear shorts. Also, Rhea's in the corner over there. Do you want food, girl? You want food? Actually, how many likes has this stream got? Because y'all might get kitten time. My ADHD is so fucking bad, dude. Seven? Nah. How hard is it to not chase them damn kids? You lucky bastard, your fan is silent. It is not silent. It is the loudest shit up there. It's just that I've got noise reduction on the fucking microphone. Anyway, I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Gotta feed the cat. Oh, turn the wrong way off. Woo-wee. Quite hard apparently. Also, there's the question if playing Roblox makes them predatory if the predators play Roblox. Yes. I just found out the hard way. It is just a yes. They're all kids who want to look big, make stuff, and go up far. At least you guys have fans. Lucky. Yeah. Some of us are, unfortunately, fortunately lucky. Hopefully music should be playing now, so I don't just sound fucking crazy with no background music at all. But yeah, no, I saw that. I needed to rant. I need to get that all out my fucking system. Because, wow. Wow, how the fuck does that even happen? Alright. Oh, fuck, yeah. Where was I in Shadow Slave? From last night. What chapter? It should be 855. 855. Snow and Ash. It's raining for me. Good luck, y'all. It's raining for you, brother. It's like I'm just getting hot air. I'm just getting nothing but hot air, brother. I'm dying. I'm dying. Boom? Why? Why? There we go. Let's do a little bit of this. Hopefully that doesn't look too ridiculous. I want some rain. If we had range, you can give Serpent back. I want Rain as a character back. I want Rain as in, like, give me a tiny bit of a dribble. Just a tiny bit. I don't need it to be, like, torrential downfall. But a tiny little bit wouldn't hurt me. You said I had free comments. What the fuck's going on? Oh, never mind. Oh, it's from that video. Yeah. I've been ignoring y'all's comment on both TikTok and YouTube for the post I made last night, because I do have a theory. I have the hypothesis machine. It's on full fucking blast. I know why Faded wants Sunny away. I know why. I have no fucking idea why. It's the best hypothesis I can come up with right now. Is the text too small, by the way? Is the text too small? Are we all good? Should I change it up a bit? I feel like I should change it up a little bit. Never mind, it's even too small for me. Back! Ding. You. I'm melting. I'm dying. I'm melting. You guys doing good? They're doing good. Nope. Don't fucking fight each other. Yeah, it's pretty small, yeah. Thought so. Thought as much. Wait, why did I do that? I can just do that. Alright, I hate being sober. I hate being sober. There we go. Ophi, fuck off. God damn. Alright. Cool down your wrist, ankles, necks, it helps a lot. Oh, you put cold water in it. Wet cloth, shower your legs with cold water. I don't know, chill in the heavens. Earth the Rama fiscal technique. I should probably take a cold shower or I'll die in this shitty room. I'm taking a freezing cold shower after this. I want to get to fucking 865, maybe. And then try not to die any more than I already am. All this reverence, all this, I'm assuming that's reverence Sandy, but playing and not technique. Where'd you find it? Right. There's a co-op near you. There's a 24/7 Asda near you. I don't know why I threw that away. I'm really thirsty. Stupid bitch. Living that fucking uni for 3 years, still don't know where anything is. Anyway, let's get to 865, possibly 870. I would have made a TikTok by now, but honestly, the last 10 chapters, not really much has gone on. So I got the aura farm. We finally got to use the bone flute. We finally got to use Sylvain's fucking, like, little talisman that he got from the second assassination. And people think Saint's Mongrel. Which is why I made the video yesterday. I wish we Briffs people, had ACs, bro. I mean, we do in newer houses. For the very reason that, let's be honest, we don't want to fucking die. Fuck off. Bear in mind that, old houses, not even. Not even a little bit. I did forget to do something, actually. I did, indeed, forget to do something. So give me, like, 2 seconds. Nope, fucked up. I haven't written backwards in a minute. Fuck off. Nope. I fucked up the B. God damn it. I fucked up the B. Anyway, there's 15 of you fuckers now. And you know what to do. Do that. You know, go do that. Anyway, let's actually get into reading. Mahito screaming Ichidori, but it's me screaming how warm it is. Oh, you funny bastard. 8:55. Snow and ash. There are a lot of things to do before the division resumed its march. Soul shards needed to be extracted from the carcasses of nightmare creatures. The carcasses themselves had to be piled into a mound and cleared away for the vehicles. Usually, each would have been dressed to harvest useful materials. The hides and bones of the abominations were a precious resource, especially that of the fallen ones. However, no one had the time to properly process the remains of the fearsome horde, so the corpses were simply discarded by the way of the road, doused in incandescent liquid and burned. The transport and artillery vehicles, damaged war platforms, and powered suits of mechanized infantry had been checked and repaired. Spent amounts had been replaced, wounded and had been healed. Soldiers, both mundane and awakened, needed time to rest and recover. Aboard the Rhino, members of the cohort slept in shifts. 3 had entered the dream realm while the other 3 remained on guard, and as soon as the first shift returned, the second shift would take place inside of the sleeping pod. Sonny remained awake, meditating silently at the back of the vehicle. In the morning, the division had to perform one final task. In the solemn silence, the bodies of the fallen soldiers, about 100 or so, were covered in pristine white flags. The general in command of the division gave a short speech and lowered his head after that. Several war platforms towering above him activated powerful flamethrowers attached to their mechanical arms, unleashing a long stream of furious fire to consume the bodies. In the harsh conditions of the Antarctic campaign, the First Army could not give the fallen a better burial. Even if the division could spare time to dig graves on the frozen soil, the risk of a stray nightmare creature disturbing them in the future was too high. And with that, and with so many living people waiting for their turn to board the evacuation ships, sacrificing precious space to send the bodies back home was a luxury that no one could afford. Looking at the funeral pyre in silence, Sonny couldn't help but fall into a somber mood. Although the ritual itself was beautiful and dignified, in truth, the soldiers who had sacrificed their lives were treated not much differently from the nightmare creatures that had killed them. In the end, both were consumed by flames. In fact, we're going to say that quote, "You're terrible." What can I say? I'm addicted to Shadow Slave. Shadow Slave is truly peak. Who you cheating with? What? The fuck you on about? Also, did he seriously just look at Chow when he read Harsh? Absolutely. Absolutely I did, and I do not regret it. Why would I? Also, don't forget about the kitten goal. Hence why you need to do that. 15 likes, you get kittens. 20 likes, you get kittens. 25 likes, you get kittens. You know the old deal. You know the goal. I also found out recently 30% of you fuckers aren't subscribed. Bit upset about that one. Anyway. Looking at the funeral pyre in silence, Sonny couldn't help but to fall into a somber mood. Well, oh yeah. For some reason, the image of countless candles burning in front of the academy gate appeared in his mind. With a sigh, Sonny turned away and spoke to his subordinates. Let's go. At least the losses weren't too horrible. If Sin had not struck down the Guardian at the northmost gate so swiftly, things could have been much worse. Soon, the division moved forward. All that was left behind the landscape discriminated by the battle, with snow and ash mixing as it swirled in the air. What? This heat is really harsh. It is. I almost drowned once. I've almost drowned several times, but that's because I like swimming. And I'm reckless. I did. Is Kirbs just sunny in the skies? This heat is really harsh. I do hate water, but my mom isn't dead. I'm subscribed. I brought you up to another streamer. He looked you up right now. Me too, I'm subscribed. Hey, Sexia. And Irish. Where the fuck were you guys? Can you not be asked being a mum today? Or is the sachet just enough? Also, the first batch of kittens are so fucking big. They're so fucking big. Anyway. Soon the division moved forward. All that was left behind was the landscape. Oh, yeah. Sonny remained in the back of the runner with a comprehensive expression on his face. Soon, however, he was distracted by the thought of an incoming communication. Master Jed Alabaster's face appeared on the screen. Sonny, I have a new mission for you. The field army dispatched in the Antarctic Center had a straightforward objective. Turn a small number of the cities into impregnable strongholds. Relocate all the human population to of the region to these strongholds. And then entrench themselves for as long as it's going to take to evacuate everyone. At that point, reinforcements were supposed to arrive to make task of withstanding the siege of the nightmare creatures easier. We might get to see Jet. Nope. Wrong fucking people, dumbass. We might get to see Effie and Kai very soon. Say we're melting. This heat is too harsh. You know what that means, people are like safe to see a kitten. Hey, we're only at 11 likes and 20 people viewing. Like I said, 15 to see kitten, 20 to see kittens, and 25 to see them all. He said he was going to subscribe to you. He's looking and is also following you on X. Damn. I'll take that. Happily take that. I'll see who the other guy is though. Yeah, sake for you, just you're in your room, nightshade spreading the corruption. What did he do? Only thing you're on about to see soon is Fated, my boy. I might see Fated. I might know what Fated is. I can't lie, since I've woken up, my brain has done nothing but run in circles. Eggs Geeky's the channel. Let's check him out. Eggs Geeky. That is not how you spell that. I think that. Hey, it's a similar guy doing this. Fuck yeah. He seems like a Lord of Mysteries guy though, which is fair enough. I don't watch him. His mods are fucking annoying. I will say mods, I'm pretty sure it's just one mod. He ran to another streamer and told them about Josh. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take the victories where I can. Dang, my niche stream was about to blow up. Probably not. At some point, reinforcements... Oh, wait, did I read the top up? No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. At some point, reinforcements would arrive. Before that happened, however, the First Army had to complete more perilous stages of the operation alone. Siege capitals had to be built, evacuation corridors had to be established, and millions of people had to be moved through them in a timely fashion. All of that demanded the human forces to be split into numerous smaller detachments, which posed a significant risk. Additionally, there were too many moving parts to this plan, and each of them could fail in the end disaster. Right now, the division Sonny was sieged to was swiftly moving towards the large city that was going to become an entrenched stronghold. In the process, they were also laying down the groundwork to establish transportation connections to smaller settlements, either by bolstering the existing civilization infrastructure or creating their own. After yesterday's battle, there seemed to be no serious obstacles in the division's path. So some of the other divisions, however, were not faring as well. Soul Reaper seemed a bit tired as she spoke on the screen. A bit of a problem. There's a Category 3 Great blocking the way, guarded by a powerful corrupted creature. From the individual's observation, there is at least a devil. However, there could also be a tyrant. Winter can't handle it alone. You and I are the closest, so buckle up, separate from your division, and move southeast at full speed until you can reach the Ravenous Point. Damn. Is this going to be our first possible encounter with a corrupted tyrant? Because I was doing some shit yesterday. For what is now going to be Thursday's stream, and I'll elaborate on that one in a minute. I'm going to have to take down my post about the schedule. My bad. I'm a forgetful twat. He's at like 450 Shadow Slave or something. Yeah, I saw it. I would have believed that just the source of the corruption, to be honest. He's way behind in Shadow Slave. He primarily started on Lord of the Mysteries. Almost took him a year to complete 350. I don't know, watched him a little bit, but he doesn't seem to care about the story. Last stream I saw, it was when Sonny gets Cruel Sight. It's because of the image being wrong. That item wasn't Cruel Sight, it's someone else from Shadow Slave. Yeah, first encounter, I think so. Yeah, totally harmless encounter incoming. Motherfucker. It's either a devil or a tyrant. It's not going to be harmless. And it's a level 3 gate. We just, what was it? I think we just encountered a couple of level 2 gates that Sonny kind of dismantled pretty fucking badly. So, who knows? It could be good. Could also actually be fucking nightmare fuel. Damn, I just got done watching the last stream and now you're live again. Found your TED Talk. Hello, everyone. Hello, Admirable... Auto House? Auto Horse? How do you pronounce that? Oh, Auto Hose. Right? I think that's how you say it. Yeah, I don't know. Where was I? It's about 70 kilometers away from your current position. Sonny briefly studied the map and said hastily, "A corrupted tyrant? Are you sure that 3 of us can manage to kill it?" Oh, I was right. All corrupted abominations were frightening, but a tyrant? The thought of facing one in battle made Sonny feel ill at ease. He had only ever fought one of a creature of that rank, the Wormvein. Yeah, that's it. I know he fought one. Even then, he had only killed the vile monster by slaying its host, Audrey, with Audrey's wooden sword. Of course, Sonny had been a Mare Awakened back then. He was much more powerful now, but that truly disturbed him was the lack of information. Finding an enemy after studying it for a while was completely different from going into blind. He probably had a slim chance against the corrupted tyrant, if there was ample time to prepare, as it stood though. Master Jet did not seem to share his concerns. She grinned darkly and shook her head. 3 of us is enough. However, this time we won't be joining alone. Someone else will be joining the fun. Sonny raised an eyebrow. Who? Soul Reaper leaned forward. A saint! Fuck yeah, we're gonna see another Satan battle, baby! Alien landscape. Carfu Gunther. It's showing, don't break your tongue pronouncing, but yes, it's close enough. Okay. I'll just call you Admiral. Fuck it, I'll just call you Admiral for now. Hi, Harsh. Yeah, you're fucking late, Harsh. Only by an hour. To be fair, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Simply because I started streaming an hour early. Gunther probably close enough to Josh's pronunciation with dyslexia and all that. You're being quite harsh for being so late, Harsh. Oh, I remember. Unfortunately, Harsh, Joshua literally looked at you. Okay, I'm gonna pray away from chat for a minute. I'm going to remind everybody, very quickly, to go through that. Specifically this, because it helps me out. Okay? So go do that if you haven't already. There's 24 of you. And I'll blitz through this chapter. Chapter 856, Alien Landscape. The evacuation army was accommodated by 3 saints, one loyal to the government, while the other two had been sent by the Great Clans. Unfortunately, Valor and Sung had refused to participate in this Southern Quadrant campaign, officially. However, they were still up to keep up appearances for that reason. Each had provided a token force to supply the evacuation effort, and the 2 saints in question were in charge of those forces. Sonny did not know who these transcendents were. All he knew was the government had wisely chosen to separate them, sending one to the Eastern Antarctic and the other to the Antarctic Center. And now, apparently, that latter was coming to aid the irregulars in vanquishing a powerful corrupted abomination. He was not sure how to feel about that. On one hand, the help of the same was more than welcomed. On the other hand, one of the reasons he had decided to participate in the Antarctic campaign was to get away from the Great Clans and their machinations. Good luck for him on that one. Now it seems that he just couldn't escape the incoming contact of the Sovereigns and their forces. Guess it all. With a sigh, Sonny sent Luster to coordinations of the Reverenous Point and walked to the pilot's cabin. We have new orders. Get to the location as fast as possible. The young man yawned and studied the coordinates for a bit and then nodded. Yes, sir. He lingered for a moment. By the way, what's there? Sonny shrugged at a nonchalant expression. A corrupted tyrant. Something like that. Luster paled, staring at him with wide eyes, and suddenly grew very quiet. The Rhino left the marching information of the division and accelerated forward, quickly overtaking slower vehicles then. It made a sharp turn left the wide highway to enter uneven terrain. Its massive wheels easily rolled through the mud and rocks. Fuck! This is my top 4 arcs in the Antarctica campaign. That's what I forgot to do yesterday. You fucking... That's what I forgot to fucking do. Also, someone on TikTok yesterday called me a LARPer for my power ranking of everybody when I got to chapter 830 or some shit. Right? What was the comment? It was so stupid. The comment was so fucking stupid. It was by someone called Mo, who's been dick riding me for fucking ages now, but that's not the point. Where is it? I glanced over at the comment calling me a LARPer and it pissed me off. Where's fucking Mo? Where's the stupid bastard? He deleted his comment, you fucking pussy. Don't comment on people's shit and then delete the comment. Oh my days, he deleted it. Oh my god. I hate motherfuckers. I hate motherfuckers so much. Oh my god. Anyway, obviously we all made the list. Now that tier list was good from what I saw. I think it's good from what I saw. I think I did a pretty decent job at it. Questionable points here and there, don't get me wrong, but I think overall it was good. But anyway, some guy called Mo, he's been dick riding me for a while. He's been like, oh my god, you pre-read. Oh my god, how did you get this? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. He's fucking annoying. I don't care about him. But he will comment on a post every so often and calling me a LARPer after I have empirical evidence of reading this series since the beginning of, like, what, November? fucking annoyed me. Holy shit, it annoyed me. Anyway. How was that LARPer behavior? The list was super accurate. I don't know. I don't know how it's LARPing behavior. It makes no fucking sense. How are you LARPing if you're just reading it? How am I LARPing if I'm almost 1,000 fucking chapters in and I've given... Not only do I have a 40 fucking minute long YouTube video talking about the first book, I have one that's almost 3 hours long talking about book 2, 3, and 4, alongside almost 70 fucking shorts talking about the goddamn thing. I have so much evidence saying I'm not, and yeah, whatever. I hate when people use new words incorrectly. It annoys the fucking shit out of me. Pre-reading and LARPer, those who just can't coexist, they can technically coexist. Because LARPing is essentially just lying, and then pre-reading would be Schrodinger's reading, caught between pre-reading and LARP. Oh yeah, shit, it is getting time. We have 15 likes. And 25 viewers. What the fuck? Hello, people? Hi. Been a while. Anyway. Which one should I pick up? 1, 2, 3, or 4? That's not how many I'm picking up right now. I'm letting you guys pick which one of those 4 should pick up. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Pick a number, any number. It's to the point where it becomes a buzzword, usually with TikTok. It does, and it's annoying. Whoa! The delay is fucking crazy. I just realized how bad the delay is. 4, 4, hashtag 6, 4, 4. Yeah, okay, so 4. Alright, let me get a little buddy. Woo. Look how tiny this one is. Mama ain't pleased. Mama ain't pleased. Look how tiny he is. Look how tiny he is. There you go. Man, fuck y'all for choosing 4. What a cutie. 4's not even the biggest. I think 4 is the youngest? Something like that. Also, 30. Where the fuck did you guys come from? You know what to do. 1 minute. Can I move that? No, I don't. No, I definitely won't be able to. Can I just... Can I... No. Fuck. Oh well. It can stay there. Hey, Miguel. When did you come in? Hello, Larsong. I think you're new. Hello, Laz. Couple y'all kind of came out of fucking nowhere. Anyway. Back to reading. 20 likes and we get the fat one? Yeah, 20 likes and you get the fat one. Oh, they're feeding right now. So, maybe. 30 motherfucking viewers. Holy shit. Yeah, I know, right? Anyway. God, I can't fucking speak today. Thanks to the high-tech suspension system, the members of the cohort barely felt any disturbance. In the next several hours, the armored vehicle briskly traversed the wild expanse of the Antarctic Center. Powerful spotlights installed on the Rhino's roof flooded the landscape in front of it with a stark light, cutting the dimness with wide beams. Various sensors supplied Luster with additional information to better steer the heavy carrier. The Antarctic Center was very different from the wildness of Asia that Sunny had seen during his brief train ride. It was just as lifeless, but in a different manner. There were fewer sights of the past war and disasters here, but at the same time, the land somehow seemed even more desolate. What do you mean you can't speak today? Jack, you better fucking behave yourself right now, boy. Alright? You'll go in timeout, motherfucker. Okay. Okay, you motherfucker. You'll go in timeout. You hear me? Feed it now. They are being fed. Anyway. It was much more uneven and mountainous too. Basically, one of the landmasses was covering by the vast mountain chain. Because of that, the horizon obscured most of the time. It was hard to notice any approaching threats. More than that, the landscape itself looked strange and alien. Well, no surprise, after all. Antarctica had been covered in ice for millions of years and only recently shrugged off a heavy veil, and the passing momentum glaciers had left many strange things behind. The kitten's feet. What do you plan to do with the baby kittens? Get rid of them. By the way, what's the progress on the 3-hour-long video? The Forgotten Shore is fucking done. The Forgotten Shore is done and over with. It's done. Do I like how it ended up coming out when I recorded it? Not entirely. I wish I added a bit more detail on the actual progression of Sunny's isolation and Nephis' isolation, and how that kind of actually parallels with each other. There's a couple things I kind of did just fucking miss out and talked about. But bear in mind that I think the majority of people that end up liking it will enjoy it. The majority of people that end up viewing it will enjoy it, I think. The chain dials, I have no idea what the fuck I was talking about in that one, I'm not gonna lie. Get rid of 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, Mitch, I have like 9 kittens in the house right now. I have 9 whole kittens, and 5 of them are fucking giants. No idea what the hell Ophi was eating when she was pregnant with them, but they're gigantic. She's a dwarf. That's a dwarf cat. And even 5, there's only 4 in that one. Anyway. The Rhino was doing an amazing job of navigating the complicated terrain. It moved forward towards the resinous point with sufficient speed. Sometimes making use of the existing roads, sometimes cutting through the untouched wilderness and climbed or descended tall hills and the mountain outcropping, traversed stretches of frozen marshlands and waded through labyrinths of giant boulders with equal ease. Knowing how tall this fucking machine is, 9, yeah, Ovi has 5, and I'm not fucking kidding you. When I ended Thursday's stream, those fuckers were born on me. Can't wait for the kittens to have their first nightmare. Oh, they probably had their first nightmare, let's be fucking real. But yeah, no, waking up to 4 kittens on you, not the vibe. Which kitten's gonna slip the throat of the god? Definitely number 2. Is it number 2? Definitely number 2. Out of that bunch, at the very least. Ah, shit, sorry. For the slush machine. Should add a note where you explain further. I know it might just be in case of the length of the video, and it might be a hassle to edit, but enjoy. Nah, no, fuck that. It'd be a fucking nightmare to try and edit in. Why did you wake up with 4 kittens on you? Because Rhea had the kittens on me. I slept, I woke up, I was covered in kittens. And blood, mostly. But like, yeah. Well, my blanket was, but... I agree with Nightshade. Take your time to make it comprehensive. Don't rush. Who are you talking to? My mother. We waited long for this. Can't wait any longer. It was all recorded over 4 days, so yeah. I think that's his mom. U-M-U-M. She gave birth on you? Yeah. It's not even the first time she's done it. Anyway. If there was one thing that kept Sonny tense, it was that he rarely had an opportunity to see how far ahead these days. The Southern Quadrant was not as lifeless as it had used to be. The life that was spreading through the reaches, however, was not the kind anyone in the waking world would welcome. Eventually, the Sizen climbed off the Rhino's roof through one of the upper hatches. Since Samira had yet to return from the Dream Realm, Sonny was the only member of the cohort with decent means of range attack. Using the opening lid of the hatch to shield himself from the cold winds, Sonny summoned Morgan's warbow and peered into the dimness that surrounded the moving vehicle. He literally swapped my sentence 180 degrees. What? Agree with Nightshade, take your time. We've waited this long for the video, can't wait any... yeah, my bad. That's rough, buddy. Imagine becoming your cat's version of the shadow chair. Mom, mother, tornado, tomato. No, you slept through it. When you have literal ants on your body, are you going to wake up to that? No. These fuckers weigh nothing. Rhea doesn't even weigh that much, and she sleeps on me regularly. So I didn't feel shit. There you go. What are you doing? Anyway. In the next few hours, he had used his bow 3 times. Several stray abominations wandered into the Rhino's path, only to be slain by a swift black arrow before they had the chance to approach it. Luckily, none of them had turned out to be too powerful or laid any dangerous ambush. For now. By noon, which of course looked the same as morning, evening, and night, the Rhino reached the ruins of the small outpost, which 2 similar carriers perked in the shadows of the broken wall. A handful of people could have been seen gathered around a fire, having a cozy meal. As Luster stopped the vehicle, Sonny jumped off the roof and walked towards the fire. Orange light gleamed, reflecting on the bleak metal of its armor. What are you guys drinking? The members of Queen and Soul Reaper's cohort looked at him with wistful expressions. Is this the same? You know, I never really put it together initially. Is this the same Queen from the tournament? Nope, never mind. Different one. That's hot water, sir. The cargo capacity of our carriers is limited. We couldn't bring anything better. He shook his head and then summoned a covetous coffer as a large chest manifested itself into reality and opened its soothing maw. Sonny thrusted his hands inside of the maw and insisted coffee, an expensive chocolate bar that startled the awakened. Oh, thank you, sir. A bunch of irregulars did not look at the people who were about to fight a corrupted abomination of high class. They seemed relaxed and nonchalant about the whole ordeal. The more attention they paid, more attention to the can of coffer than the menacing mountain that loomed above them. The Category 3 grate was situated at its peak. Surprisingly, blood is not very good for waking up, I have discovered. He's just used to waking up covered in blood. Yeah, usually do. Blood would wake anyone up in any times beside this. Not really. It was hot anyway, and this weather sweating through it, maybe. No. The tournament was a weekend, yeah. I think I'm getting Queen mixed up with... What the fuck's her name from the tournament? It was the last bitch Sonny had to fight. I can't remember her name. Anyway, I'm going to read this shout out and then very, very quickly run to the shop. So, my apologies for the very minor detail there. There is one in town. Never mind. I'll fucking talk to her in a second. I'll talk to her when I have to go to the shop. As the graceful awakened brew coffee to themselves and Sunny soldiers, who emerged from the rhino and joined them, he looked around and noticed Master Jet and Winter. The two were standing some distance away, discussing something between themselves in low voices. He headed towards them and caught the tail end of the conversation. It's definitely a woman. Hot as hell, too. I'm telling you, idiot, I saw the mongrel guy myself once. He's definitely a man. Everyone knows that you're blind in both eyes when it comes to these things, Reaper. I mean, remember the time when that handsome Sate tried to hit on you? What are you talking about? He was just hoping to cooperate with us to claim the new Citadel. Damn you hopefuls, you know that. Oh, man. At that moment, Sunny... That's a really funny conversation. At that moment, Sunny approached them, glanced at Master Jet, and cleared his throat. Winter stared at them for a moment. See? Case in point. What's that supposed to mean? As Sunny pondered what she alluded to, Master Jet smiled and waved at him. Ah, Sunny, you're just on time. Saint could be arriving at any moment now, too. He couldn't help but frown. Who exactly is... And at that moment, a vaguely familiar feeling suddenly overwhelmed him. Sunny sensed the massive shadow covering the ruined outpost and heard the sound that resembled the rustle of 1,000 wings. Oh shit, is it Triss? Suddenly, the fourth figure was standing among them. Sunny blinked momentarily, lost for words. Saint Tyrus! What are you doing here? Hey! Fucking Skytide, baby! Let's go. In front of him stood no other than Skytide of the White Feather Clan. Let's fucking go. What the hell? I didn't think I'd see Skytide again. That's sick. St. Tyrus the Goat. Yeah, I know. I've been calling her Triss. People in the comments have been bullying me about calling her Triss. That ain't snowing. There ain't no snow in winter either. Not in England. The Goat Skytide returns. Amen. But I am gonna have to be very fucking annoying. I do need to go shop for my mother. Luckily, it's only 5 minutes away, so you shouldn't be waiting that long. So I'm just gonna throw in a random fucking video for you guys. What video though? What video? What video? What video? What video? Oh yeah, I forgot the Game and Beaver. Forgot that guy existed. None of these look. YouTube's recommending system has been so fucking shit. The Lord of the Rings video, we never finished it. What Lord of the Rings video? Dog, all these videos look like shit. YouTube, up your fucking game, brother. It's gone downhill for the past few months, innit? Fuck me. I don't want to bore you fucking people by watching something that, like, if I'm not gonna watch it, oh my god. Fuck it, we can throw this on. The dogs are going crazy because Auntie Stacey's here. Moment up.
No, I just realized. See you there. I was too busy playing Peak. Y'all should join me. This is the highest rated LEGO game for a reason, and it really got me in my DC bag. So today, since you barged in so aggressively like a LEGO Batman goon, I mean henchman, we gotta reclaim that word because that was my childhood and a lot
I'll be
of
back
as well, and it's been retroactively ruined over time ever since. But Legacy of the Dark Knight has gotten many of us thinking because, you know, we're mad starving and at the same time gluttonous for content. I know that doesn't make any sense. That we have started brainstorming ideas on which hero could have a game similar to the new format of LEGO games, and obviously, the first pick would be Spider-Man. He has enough mainstream media and adaptations to warrant such a game. I don't know if it would be more difficult of a development process because, let's be honest, no other character has as many great supporting cast members who are integral to the wider story arc and people would like to play as them as the Batman franchise. I did, however, see many people ask for DC games created in the same vein, but for other characters. One name that I saw pop up a lot, as you might expect, was Superman, with many using the logic that it would be far easier to create a Superman game within a LEGO format than it would be to create a game with the realism and realistic tone and graphics of the Arkham games or even the Insomniac Spider-Man games, and I wholeheartedly agree. However, as with many things, even within the LEGO games fanbase, which, come on, it's never that serious, there has been some heated arguments over which character actually deserves it, both Marvel and DC alike. And the downplay that I've been seeing for some of my favorite characters have actually got me kind of tight. So today, I want to highlight some characters that I think are integral to the DC brand through the lens of a Mount Rushmore. We all know the big three of DC, like come on, they make it abundantly clear with the concept of the Trinity itself, way easier than it was for Marvel because everyone has different takes, different eras. The Trinity, the big three, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, those are the three faces of the DC universe, representing the street level, more pulpy side of comics, as well as, you know, the brand itself. I mean, Detective Comics, it's in the name. Female superheroes, and well, superheroes as a whole. I mean, Supes is the grandfather of the whole thing. But this does beg the question, who's the fourth? Hey everyone, post-production Natrix here, just stopping by to remind you that if you enjoy the content, to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. It is free, and it really helps the channel out a ton. We're on our way to 50k subs, we're almost there. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Come one, come all, presenting to you the magical Zatanna! She can be up here, right? Nah, I'm kind of pushing it. Someone tell me to sit down. But I'd be damned if I didn't mention the literal face of DC magic. Yes, I love Dr. Fate. But in the current era, he's been carried by adaptations. His solo comic, the last one that he got, literally dropped a decade ago. And his only crumbs are coming from Justice League Dark, which, hey, I mean, I will admit those are some pretty good crumbs, but Zatanna has been making a name for herself. Putting aside my personal bias, I can confidently say that she's a character that a lot of people want to see win. They want her to succeed. And in the realm of modern comics and not being one of the main big characters that you see in adaptations, it's very impressive. For the past 3 years, or 4 years actually, everyone who's even had a vague interest in her comics showed up for her books. They would be bestsellers every single month, and I don't know how to describe to you how crazy that is. While it's not too out there for her to be up right now, considering how well DC is doing in the industry, before the All-In initiative in the late stages of Infinite Frontier and Dawn of DC, they weren't exactly doing too hot, but each time Zatanna would release a book, she'd be pulling comparable numbers to the biggest names in comics, and a lot of the times, even better. What really separates her isn't just that she's a magic character though, it's how personal her corner of the magic universe feels. A lot of DC magic can feel ancient or distant, or like you need a textbook before you can even enjoy it. Zatanna flips that. Her magic is theatrical, emotional, sometimes messy, but in a way that feels human. You're seeing someone perform, someone who has to carry a legacy. She's not even the first one in her lineage, even on panel, to be a superhero, a magic user. We have to remember, one of the first heroes, and part of my knowledge, because this character might be the first DC superhero mainstream that is, but Giovanni Zatara was her father, and was somebody who was very much respected in the magic community. She has a level of expectation and pressure every single time she steps onto the stage or into a fight. There's a vulnerability there that you don't usually get with characters operating on that level of power. She's somebody who is trying to hold that world together while the world is literally bending around them. So her enemies are as powerful as she is, and as important, I believe, as she is, considering their magnitude of power. But that in and of itself makes her easier to root for, because look at what she's doing. She's protecting some of your favorite characters and you don't even know it. But more importantly, it makes her easier to invest in the long term. She also benefits from being one of the few characters who can elevate naturally the tone of whatever story she's in. You drop her into something grounded and suddenly there's a sense of wonder creeping in, like she's a god amongst men and women. You throw her into something chaotic and magical and she becomes the anchor that makes a story readable, or at least relatable, or at least somebody that you could at least latch onto. That balance is rare, and it's a big reason why her presence has felt more and more important over time instead of less. But even with all of that, I'm sorry, I can't put her as the fourth pillar, and it's not to knock on her, it's more about what that spot actually demands, at least to me. If we're being honest, a pillar has to define a side if they're going to do that in a way that even casual fans recognize instantly. And for poor Zatanna here, it's a motion party you cannot get in. Let me stop. Anyways, Zatanna is not more popular in the public eye than Dr. Fate, so she isn't even somebody who I could say everybody will agree is the number one. And that distinction for this specific conversation matters. At least though, in terms of her relationships with the other three pillars, not like this is a strict requirement, but it does definitely help her case if you want to go this route. She actually has a pretty strong resume here. She's close with Wonder Woman through their time working together on the Justice League Dark, and that partnership really highlights how well magic and mythology can blend when DC leans into it. She's also been a consistent presence across multiple variations of the Justice League, which of course naturally ties her to Superman and Batman. But those relationships also have their own flavors too. With Superman, there's always been, or at least recently, a subtle bit of tension, since magic is one of the few things that genuinely puts Superman on the back foot and he actively hates it. Of course, with it being her everything, she doesn't even have a code name, magic is her life. It leads to very interesting arguments and discussions and contrasts between absolute power, Superman, and something he can't fully control. And with Bruce, well, that history runs very deep. Childhood connection, mutual respect, a little bit of what could have been energy depending on the writer, Paul Dini. And yeah, I'm not saying that this is endgame, it's not better than every other option out there probably, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing either. In fact, unpopular take opinion coming right up. I have to say, I don't care about shipping, but ever since I read Paul Dini's run in Tynion's Detective Comics and other previous things, I can't help but want Bruce and Zatanna to be together. It is a lot better than a lot of her other complicated relationships. And speaking of complicated relationships, yeah, we might as well talk about John Constantine. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, John Constantine, yeah, he's a great character, but in what world could he possibly manage to be a part of the core four? Well, to that I say, do you remember the type of motion he had in the post-crisis era? This is a genuine question because a lot of people seem to forget that he was the face of DC's Vertigo line of comics. While Swamp Thing might have been the catapult that launched this entire thought project into existence, and yeah, we could probably argue him in his place up here too, and Dream of the Endless, and of course, you know, Sandman might have been its beating heart, but the Hellblazer series that ran from 1988 to 2013 was the backbone of the entire line. It's really crazy when you think about it because I can't recall a single character who technically isn't a part of mainstream DC to get 300 plus consecutive issues of a run without a relaunch that follows one consistent quality story. We need to put John's name up in the rafters because the quality of stories he had for years in this era is up there with some of the greats, and unfortunately, it gets unnoticed. Even when the book got cancelled thanks to the ever-loving blade constructed by the dastardly New 52, it relaunched almost immediately. Even to this day, kinda. He isn't just a character who goes out of...
Sorry. I had to. Oh, I'm sorry, chat. I had to do it to you. I had to do it to you. Oh, shit. That's not not half bad. That's especially true since Joshua won't ever say that name correctly. Sorry. I'm so sorry, chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, not sorry, but fuck me, I had to do it. Ah, Christ.
Regularly, as there's always
oh, fuck off, dude. People like fatherless behavior. That is true. He's in prison. Sorry, Tokyo. I'm pretty sure everyone in my neighborhood had it. My bad, chat. My bad. Anyway, let's get back into it. Chapter 857, The Jade Beetle. I mean, we've got St. Triss with us, so it shouldn't be that bad. Tyrus even. I keep calling it Triss because it's so easy to pronounce than Tyrus, but... that was just an echo from Quip screaming about the heat earlier. Yeah, true that. Oh, fanfic shit. Alright, let's get back into it. Jade Beetle. The woman standing in front of Sunny was tall and slender, with long hair that fell down to a gentle cascade of pale blonde. Her posture was perfectly straight, and her cold face was dazzlingly beautiful. Skytie was wearing a suit of light steel armor, with pauldrons of graves and decorated with stylized feathers. The gaze of her stern amber eyes were pierced and heavy, while her strangely vertical pupils resembled that of a bird of prey. Snowflakes swirled and danced in the air as if trying to get closer to her. Sony was rather startled by the familiar transcendent. St. Tyrus, what are you doing here? This is probably punishment, if I had to take a guess. This is probably Clan Valor being like, you killed the Saint. Fuck off. No, you're going down to Antarctica. Skytie glanced at him. Master Sunless, it is good to see you again. I'm glad to find you're in good health. As for why I'm here, isn't it obvious? I've come to hunt the beast. He shifted awkwardly. No, why are you here in Antarctica? She stared at him expressionless. White Feather Clan have been tasked upon supporting the evacuation effort of the Southern Quadrant. Yep, 100%. Oh. Suddenly, a few things clicked into place. Back then, when Skytide had killed St. Cormac to protect Sunny and Cassie, she had told him that she would be punished by the Great Clan Valor. She had also told them that they would not dare to penalize her too severely. It seems that having a chained Isles taken away was not enough punishment for the willful Saint. Valor had made a gesture to him by sending a token forth to Antarctica. And so, the White Feather Clan had drawn a short straw. It seems that they had lost their idyllic I don't know how to pronounce that, and were banished to the cold regions of the war-torn continent, at least for the time being. Looking around, Sunny expressed a sad sigh. The dark and inhospitable land surrounding them was a far cry from the I've never been able to pronounce this word ever. Not from Elden Ring, not from videos that I've watched about Elden Ring, nothing. Empyrean Beautiful of the Sanctuary of Noctis, and he had felt a bit guilty for the whole thing. Skytide did not seem to mind though, or at least hid her displeasure perfectly. Fucking hell. It's pronounced domain. It's French. Huh. Well, I'm British. I'm never going to pronounce anything those fuckers say correctly anyway, so I don't care. The one thing I remember is the Metro Doridaners. Master Jet, meanwhile, looked at him with curiosity. Oh, I had forgotten you two already know each other. In any case, we are grateful for your assistance, St. Tyrus. Skytide simply nodded. Soon, the gaze of her striking ember eyes drifted to the tall mountain looming above the ruins outpost. What do we do about the enemy? Soul Reaper shook her head slightly. Not much. Then she smiled and looked at the youngest member of the group. Yet. Sonny, do your thing. Just immediate. Do your thing. Do your thing? What kind of request is that? Mitochondria? Yeah. I've not seen the word mitochondria since like 2023. Fuck me. Nah, you're so right. You're so right. Nah, you're so right. I'm a dumb fuck. Ignore the whiteboard behind me. I might just fucking erase it. I'm a fucking idiot, dude. Oh, fuck me. As Sonny grumbled silently, his shadows nimbly scaled the slope of the mountain. By now, the range of the shadow controller exceeded a dozen kilometers, so it was not impossible for them to reach the peak. There was hardly anyone better suited to spy on the corrupted abomination, however. Sonny grimaced as the call of the nightmare assaulted his mind. Now that he was observing the Category 3 gate, its subtle influence grew much stronger and harder to ignore. There was a wide crack that had almost split the peak of the mountain in two. The dark rift of the gate pulsed inside the cavernous scrim, and there was a stone debris littering the immediate area around it. Many shots had rolled down the steep slope, while a few giant boulders had reached all the way down, smashing large parts of the outpost and the irregulars currently hiding in and decimating the roads that had led to it. Fuck me! You're smarter than most Americans, at least. I am definitely smarter than most Americans. I just forget how words are spelt. What chapter? Chapter 857. Meaty also has enough brain cells to do that. Do that, at least very much. I wouldn't really count on my brain cells being worth much. 857. 857, not 858. Not yet. Halfway there. Strangely, he did not notice the nightmare creatures immediately. It was only after a creepy shadow, true to its name, crept closer to the sudden shiver ran through his body. Suddenly noticed hundreds of shapes resting between the rocks. The abominations were easy to miss because of the cascades were as white as the snow covering the top of the mountain. As a texture that resembled rocks, they looked like giant insects. Fuck, they're gonna get fucked. They're gonna get obliterated. Some were as large as humans, some were awakened, and some of them were fallen, and few larger ones were even corrupted. None of them could compare to the enormous abomination hiding in the shadows of the shattered peak, however. With the smooth, milky white chitin and the unmoving black eye, the jade creature resembled an oversized, appalling, monstrous beetle. It was easily 3 times the size of the rhino, with 6 mighty legs and terrifying mandibles, and seemed powerful enough to crush heavily armored wall platforms. Looking at the motionless abomination, Sunny felt an eerie sense of foreboding. He glanced at St. Tyrus, Master Jet, and Winter with a dark expression. It's a tyrant, alright. Large, thick armor, resembles an insect. There's around 500 drones under its command, and many of them are fallen. I've noticed at least 24 corrupted lieutenants as well. He lingered for a moment and called out, Kimmy! Once Josh makes a shot on the scuffle, we'll have to look out Arlen. By the way, what chapter did we start the stream on? 55. Good, didn't miss much then. You missed a whole rant about Poketubers, and that was pretty much it. But that was like half an hour. Anyway. The Sea of the Cohort activated her aspect ability, allowing him to see the swarm of the stone beetles in a new light. Studying the tough cascade, Sunny slowly listed a few vulnerable points, then shifted his gaze on the tyrant. Unlike the minions, the giant white beetle did not seem to possess any pronounced weak spots. Sunny did not know whether the armor of the powerful creature was just that good, or whether Kim simply could not peer through the defenses of the enemy that outranked and outclassed her so much. But the results were the same. Killing a tyrant was not going to be easy. He shared what little information he was able to gather and glanced at the other officers with doubt. So, what do we do now? St. Tyrus remained silent, but Master Jet smiled. Her smile was dark and vicious. What else? We kill it. Sunny blinked. Ow. Soul Reaper waited for a few moments and then looked at Skytide. The Transcendent crossed her arms. I'll handle the tyrant as long as it's bound to the ground. I can handle the creature with impunity. If one attack doesn't crack the shell, then 10 will. And if 10 cracks fail, then 100 cracks will do the job. Okay, fucking big dick energy over here. Go fucking... No wonder I like this bitch so much. She looked at the irregulars and frowned. However, you will have to deal with the routine. The task is not going to be easy. Winter snorted and laughed, and suddenly laughed. Easy? What's that? Fair reaction, mate. Fair reaction. Can't do much about the TikTok, but here on YouTube, absolutely. Oh boy, the intrusive thoughts. You're not slick, eh? Andre tried and that's something at least. Aura. Yeah, you gotta give Sonny that. He's pretty good at manipulating the aura around him. But no, I do fuck with Skytide's just like immense confidence heavily. There's some, I don't know what it is about Saints so far, bear in mind Cormac. All of them have had a level of finesse to them that you just cannot fuck with right now. St. Tyrus walked up to another Saint and went, I'ma kill your ass if you fuck with these kids. And she did it. Noctis, I don't need to explain Noctis. Sylvain's a fucking warmonger. And I'm really fucking stuck to that name. High and true to her pride. One was an iron golem that was tortured for fucking God knows how many years. The other was a shadow prince that made nightmare. Like, come on. And the other one's a fucking dragon. All the saints that have been introduced to so far, immaculate aura. If you make it to Saint, that's how you're gonna be. We don't talk about Cormac. We really don't talk about Cormac. What a sourceless bum. Sourceless pussy. I just realized we got to 20 likes. Alright, we got to 20 likes. I didn't realize. Which one are we picking out? 1, 2, or 3? It's kitten time, people. Which one are we picking? 1, 2, or 3? 1, 2, or 3? Pick wisely. Go back there, so... Yeah. 1, 2, or 3? Come here. Pick wisely, ladies and gentlemen. She is not a very happy cat. She doesn't like me fucking with her kittens all that much. Hi. 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. 2. Okay, we got 4 3s and 3 2s. We'll make it one more vote. Okay, I guess we're just going with 3 then. Quibs picked 3 before, so I'm assuming he's gonna pick 3 again. Free? Yep. Alright. No. You, Look at this little guy. Look at this fat little bitch. He's the biggest one. By far. By far. But he can't meow that well. Wanna say hi? Yeah. Let's put you back there. Miguel split himself in two. He looms like a kitten meme. The creature is grand, the fat one. Actually, that's a good question. Moment. You're a boy. You're a girl. You're a boy. Girl. Boy. Oh! 2 girls, 2 boys. I'll be damned. I did not bother to check it before until I said boy out loud. I never really checked. Anyway, chapter 858, Aerial Superiority. They did not spend too much time trying to catch up with a detailed plan. Firstly, because of the night creatures could have been discovered by the irregulars at any moment. Sadly, because no plan they had come up with would have been reliable. There was too little information about the disposal. Without knowing what the tyrant and the few devils serving it, the lesser soldiers of the Stone Hive were capable of, what was the point of creating a rigid strategy? The battle ahead was going to be decided by raw power, resolving the ability to swiftly adapt to changing circumstances. Luckily, the irregulars had more than enough power in their disposal, with 3 elite masters and an actual saint leading them. There was hardly more than a fearsome human force of the Antarctic Center. Would that power be enough, though? We're gonna have to find out soon. How did I end up here? Creeping up the slope of the mountain with a Morse expression, Sonny bitterly remembered his dream of becoming rich, decadent, cowardly shop owner that was going to continue drowning in nightmare, what he was doing on a continent drowning with nightmare creatures, preparing for a corrupted tyrant and its army. He could have been relaxing in the hot springs of a luxury spa in the branches of beauties right now. That was what rich people did, right? Instead, Sonny hid behind a tall boulder, shivered and cold, and glanced at a handful of people pressing against the rocks around him. Sure, there were plenty of beauties among them as well, but it wasn't the same. Because there was only one beauty for him. It couldn't be any more different, really. Damn. There were still good stretches of the mountain slope remaining until the peak. That high, the air was not devoid of oxygen yet, but surely tasted different. None of the awakened would have hindered by the slight hypoxia and suffer from the high altitude illness. Of course, it still required some adjustment. Sonny sat and watched St. Tris calmly walked forward. A swarm of sparks surrounded her hand and then concealed into a long javelin. At the same time, Winter summoned a strange silver bow with 2 arrows. She knocked one of the strings back with the bow and waited. The shadow hiding at the peak of the mountain watched as one of the hideous insects wandered at the edge of the protruding rocks, outcropping the frozen, its long attained twitching in the wind. Antenna twitching in the sink. Sonny frowned. I think we've noticed. Before he could warn anyone, however, St. Tide took one step, raised the javelin, silently threw it into the dark sky. Her throw caused the snow around St. Tris to be cleared away by the gate of crushing wind. The rocks beneath her feet cracked. In the next moment, a thunderous roar of the sonic boom roared across the mountains as the javelin accelerated towards the peak with terrifying speed. It staked across the sky like a radiant star, and then collided against the tyrant's cascade with devastating force. The milky white chitin did not stutter, though. The javelin shattered instantly. The javelin shattered instead. As St. Tyrus tilted her head a little, Winter... I'm sorry. that one sentence caught me right off guard. As St. Tyrus tilted her head a little, Winter shot an arrow almost straight up. It blew the It blew into the sky and then exploded with brilliant radiance, flowing the gloomy slope with bright light. Illuminated by it, the nightmare creatures hiding behind the rocks moved. They ran forward with surprising agility and then jumped, twisting their bodies into tight spheres. Hundreds of these spheres rolled down, approaching the hiding irregulars with terrible speed. Sonny felt his heart growing heavy. Because of how similar the Holy shit! Because of how similar the cascades of the stone-hide soldiers actually look like rock, it seems as if the mountain itself was rolling onto them. And it wasn't. That wasn't all. The tyrant moved forward and opened its maw, disgouging a cloud of darkness from it. The cloud flowed down the avalanche like volcanic ash, swallowing the figures of the rolling drones and overtook them. Bad! Sonny did not know what the black avalanche consisted of, but his intuition was screaming that inhaling or even being touched by this black ash was deadly to humans. At that moment, Skytie suddenly disappeared and a massive shape shot forward in the formation. A giant bird of prey with white feathers and talons forged the illustrious steel appeared above the mountain, gaining speeds as it flew into the sky. Her body raged in a radiant mantle of dancing lightning bolts. As Saintress moved her enormous wings, the clouds of black ash was being torn apart by the hurricane winds, and this dissipated long before reaching the irregulars. She soared high into the dim sky and then plummeted down, aiming to the savage of the jade beetle with her terrifying beak. I only just realized the whole bird and beetle. You know, sometimes I'm fucking stupid. Sometimes I'm fucking stupid. Is fat banned? I don't know. Oh, you're not doing that on purpose? I thought you were doing that on purpose. Josh's true name is Shepherd of Kittens. That's brilliant. Vile Shepherd of Kittens. Snatcher of Kittens. More like the whole system. This chapter's truly doing a number on poor Josh. On poor Josh's tooth. Honestly, it's bad. And I don't know why. It's not a hard chapter to fucking read. It's just, for some reason, my brain's going like 1,000,000 miles per hour. So it's fucking me up, mate. I also just realized I'm not doing the live chat thing again. There we go. Sometimes. Fairy. Josh has Inumaki's powers, but since no one understands... You motherfucker. You motherfucker. I want to remove admin from you so bad. I want to remove admin from you so fucking bad. By the way, about the Saints, you missed the Dreamskate Saint, the weakest of them all in the edit box, out the list. Yep, it's banned, I think. It's showing up for me as well, but not on stream chat. I can see it on, like, regular chat. I can't see it on stream chat. Lamau, fat kittens. Oh, never mind. Jack can say it. Why can Jack say it? I don't fucking know. I don't think so. He's in top chat mode. Not anymore. I'm in live chat on both versions that I can see. Who you talking to? Josh Arlen. Arlen with the fucking Inumaki's curse technique, the fucking cheeky prick. Anyway, the two monstrous creatures collided, and the tyrant jumped back with an ear-piercing screech. A beam of darkness escaped from its maw, but Sky Tide was already rising in the sky as she circulated to deliver another devastating attack. The bolt of lightning gathered on her body and shot forward, colliding with the dark beam. It seemed to weaken considerably, and missed the swift saint, disappearing into a somber expanse of the cold heavens. A net of lightning descended from above, bit into the milky white jade kitten of the tyrant. The devastating thunderclap battered like its physical attack. Tyrus folded her wings and fell down again, leaving deep grooves of the enemy armor with her talons. The whole mountain shook with the ferocious force of their clash. Comprehensively, uninjured, but hopelessly outmatched by the flying opponent, the jade beetle seemed almost aggrieved. The black eyes stared as the silhouette of the colossal bird with an indescribable, inhuman emotion. And then, the tyrant straightened. The cascade suddenly seemed to split in the middle and moved aside the giant gate. From beneath it, 4 long translucent wings emerged, and then it blurred, causing a massive creature to rise into the air. It was not only eerily beautiful image, it wasn't so dreadful. Looking from below, Sonny gritted his teeth. Well, crap. I forget beetles can fly. Good job, G3, and catching me on that one. Okay, chat's just not moving for me on there for some reason. Jack's just built different, I guess? Yeah, apparently. What are these special effects? I don't know. I'm in a mood today. Peak thunderclap. He insults me. Make threats and get... You know, all in. Can't help it at the Laputa at Josh's reading skills. He's becoming a corrupted creature. I'm bad. My reading skills aren't, like, my outward reading skills aren't the best. They're bad today. I feel like I'm reading the beginning after the end all over again. Just a lot less bored. Chapter 859, Summit. The corrupted tyrant and Skytide were of the same rank, and they were at the base of the 4 entire classes separating them. Nevertheless, Saint Tyrus had been confident in her abilities of defeating the perverse creature. As long as it was bound to the ground, that is what she had told them. Watching the giant insect spread its 4 translucent wings and soar into the somber sky, both grotesque and eerily beautiful at the same time, Sonny froze for a moment. Then he looked back down. Nothing ever went according to plan. It was just a reality of things, and the irregulars had been prepared to face unforeseen circumstances from the very start. St. Tyrus was going to manage, somehow, on her own, and the rest of them had their own trial to face. He couldn't spare attention to the titanic battle happening above. Hundreds of nightmare creatures were bearing down upon the 3 cohorts of irregulars like an avalanche. Contracted into balls of the white kitten, the soldiers of the stone hive were rolling down the mountain slope with tremendous speed. All the valuable spots safely protected, their advances could easily seen with the white light of winter's radiant arrow. Among them were awakened, fallen, and even corrupted abominations, beasts, monsters, and demons, and even devils in the air was close to the summit of the mountain, cold and thin, and unlike previous battles, humans had unfavorable positions below the mountain. Fucking hell! Why am I so bad today? Fucking Christ! You're doing fine, by the way, just really poking fun. I know you're poking fun, which is why I'm not doing anything to you. Did y'all know that people who don't have an inner voice in their head while reading read faster than someone who does? All I have is an inner voice in my head. I have like 7 voices in my head at all fucking times. I smite thee. Aren't we the ones corrupted? The only reason we aren't corrupted yet is because we can't understand Josh. Prick. You fucking asshole. Yeah, he's listing sushi ingredients for me. You know what? You know what? There you go. There you go, Alan. There you go. You're pushing too many buttons, you prick. Worse still, Sonny had yet to recover from yesterday's exertion. He had barely half of his essence left. Satan and Nightmare were mending themselves in the dark flames of his soul after the clash of the powerful Gate Guardian. Things weren't looking good. Whenever more fragments for me. He thought that Winter... As he thought that, Winter set a second arrow into the sky. It dissipated into the darkness, and it seemed to explode with 1,000 brilliant shards. Her aspect was a strange one. From what Sonny had knew, it combined some sort of powerful combat augmentation with the affinity to revelation. Winter was both a warrior and a seer. As a result, she had never missed. That was not an exaggeration. Just as the frightening and bizarre fact, she had literally never missed one shot since becoming unawakened. Fucking Bullseye? Hello? What's his name? Not Dexter. Yeah, Point Dexter. Point Dexter from fucking Daredevil. Wait, what happened to Arlen? He pressed the wrong button. Well, to be specific, he pressed the same button over and over and over again. And it's bit him in the ass. So he's gone for another 2 minutes. Rip to the only real one in chat. He got smacked down for a joke. A joke he repeated. Now, probably the only time it happens today. But yeah, some Point Dexter ass accuracy right there. It did not matter what weapon Winter had used. To be a bow, a sling, a throwing dagger, or simply a rock. They always struck too. It's just fucking Point Dexter. Of course, simply being able to hit the target did not always mean victory. What made her truly formidable was the extensive arsenal of enchanted arrows that she had accumulated over the years. Master Winter was basically a walking artillery unit. It was a good joke. He did press the same joke twice. Yes, he did. We like originality here. I say as I'm reading a story from a different creator. Whatever. As thousands of brilliant shards radiated from the sky, each revealed itself to look a small silver arrow. They bit into the massive rolling abominations, shredding through the cascades and finding their way through the smallest cracks of the chitin armor. Instantly, fetid blue limbs flowed onto the snow-covered rocks. A moment later, another arrow was already knocked on the string of Winter's bow, with several more already manifesting themselves in a whirlwind of sparks. Each appeared exactly as the previous one was sent flying, shooting the bow with unnatural speeds. She unleashed a qual of death onto the masses of descending nightmare creatures. Each arrow was unique, but absolutely deadly. Studying the nimble, calculated, and lethal movements of the older master, Sonny couldn't help but sigh. So, that's what a professional looks like. Hi, Green. How you doing? How you doing, bud? If you're here for the entire time, what's Josh's true name? Kirbs was made by the spell. That is true. We did find out. We did find that out today. Fuck me. I can't even speak properly, man. He had a long way to go if he had hoped to reach this realm of archery. Soon, the other ranged fighters among the irregulars joined the fray. Almost all the members of Winter's own cohort were sharpshooters of some kind, so it steadily outshined the rest of the phase of the battle, reaping dozens of abominations' lives. Often, the awakened marksmen aimed at the breaches of the white cascades that had rained arrows and summoned by the Winter it created. Ah, yes, his real name. I totally know it. Geoffrey and Dispel collaboration to make a homunculus. Ugh. Then say it. Someone stole Josh's ability to speak words. Tisk, tisk. Yeah, I'm not really fond of it. I've not encountered any birds today either, so it can't be one of them. 100% worth. I was wondering when you were going to come back, you prick. I was like, it's definitely been 3 minutes already. What the fuck is he? As blue runes ignited on the silver limbs of her bow, she grinned. Show them hell. Whatever kills the most gets the hug. How fine is Winter? If this is how she's motivating her team, how fine is she? All legit got vaporized. No, he got deatomized. Get it correct. He got deatomized. He just got reconstructed. Since he wanted originality, if his voice was stolen, who did our fish prince want to dance with so badly? Our fish prince? Wants it so bad. This is a joke far outside my scope. Winter is very fine. I don't get the joke. She probably looks like Winter from Ruby. I'm scared to look this up. Oh, so fine. Got it. Okay. Winter's a baddie. When in doubt, blame the spell, Joshua. Don't know what the fuck was going on there. Ariel. Giving her voice away out of legs. Why are we scared, Josh? Chat won't lie. Oh, because something just went on, and I don't know what the fuck was going on. So I tried to find out. But unfortunately, people don't speak! The formation was a weak spot on the stove hive soldiers that Kimmy and Sunny had provided also helped. Soon he had heard a familiar electric whine and saw a powerful explosion boom among the abominations, ripping a few of them apart. Samira was adding her prodigal firepower to the deadly onslaught of ranged specialists. Sonny, however, restrained himself from using the bow. In this battle, he needed to conserve his essence as much as possible, plus, he was meant to play a different role. The tide of abominations was almost upon them. Sonny? He turned around, saw Master Jared running at him. Her short, raven black hair was dancing in the wind. Her eyes were burning with a chilling blue light. There was a light armor of black leather wrapped tightly around her body, and a familiar dark glaive trailing behind her. Lowering herself slightly, she interlocked her fingers and offered his hand to her as a step. As soon as Soul Reaper's foot landed in the cradle, he strained his muscles and threw her into the air. Augmented by three shadows, the strength was nothing short of monstrous. Bolstered by Sunny, Jet flew forward as if she was the Rain of Arrows herself. The somber glaive flashed, passing through the body of one of the corrupted abominations before it could even react. The creature rolled forward with tremendous speed for a few moments, and then it suddenly Sneeze. Sneeze! I'm back. Being freaky for Jet again? Let me guess, it's Quibs. Let me go back to live chat. Is it Quibs? I thought it was a different person. Kill me, Jet. Oh, never mind, it's Sick. That makes sense, though. It makes sense. Nothing of the sort. If we get another description of Winter hugging people, is that padding the story? No, it's confirming whether or not she's that fine. Damn, I wish I could blame you, but I can't. Where was I? The massive body came to a shuddering stop. Its white cascade was perfectly whole, with not even the smallest crack in it, and yet the massive beast was dead. As Soul Reaper slid into the icy rocks, hundreds of abominations attacked the line of the irregulars and the swift humans who had managed to kill one of the other leaders. The massive balls of the white Critin instantly unflurred into a terrifying insect-like abomination and lunged at the victims, the sharp mandibles clicking and the segmented legs scrapping against the stone. Master Jet was already moving, dodged numerous attacks as she dashed towards the next corrupted target. Looking at her, Sonny blinked. Fast. Then, he had no more time to think. Chapter 8! Ooh, fuck, I forgot to do it. I'm sorry. I forgot to do it again. My bad. I'm sorry, chat. Those 3 minutes did not give me any good boob jokes on calling Josh a little mermaid. I'll go cook something on the stove instead of the keyboard for now. Right. Right, okay. Whatever the fuck that means. What do you want? Martin, I don't live there anymore. I don't fucking know. Look, I love Martin to death, right? I'll fucking kill for that, man. He expects far too highly of me sometimes. Man thinks I fucking know shit about the town he lives in that I've not been in 2 years. Anyway. Chapter 860. Stone Hive. Today is indeed a great day. I've liked it for the most part. Even though the archers managed to kill and wound a lot of nightmare creatures, there was still enough of them left to bury the irregulars under a mass of critters' bodies. Master Jet suddenly advanced, divided the attention of and lessened the pressure of the rest of the human forces, but that was not her primary goal. In the battle, Soul Reaper was tasked with the most important objective, eliminating the corrupted abominations that threatened to wipe out the awakened soldiers. Awakened was supposed to fight the nightmare creatures of their own rank. Facing a fallen abomination was usually a recipe for disaster, and only a small amount of human warriors could be confident in defending an overbearing foe like that. Killing a creature of a higher rank was a rare enough accomplishment. That could be substantially change one's reputation. Still, it was not impossible. Sonny himself, as well as every other survivor of the Forgotten Shore, had slain plenty of beings that had no business fighting. That's what made them so abnormal. In the terrifying crucible of the Forgotten Shore, only the strongest of the strongest survived. Of course, there were plenty of equal talents among the rest of the Awakened, and the elites chosen to become irregulars were among them. But they stood no chance against the corrupted. The power gap of 2 ranks was just too insurmountable. In the rarest of circumstances, a victory could still be possible, but usually an Awakened would not have even been able to leave a scratch on the body of those monsters. No conventional weapon could have harmed them either. And that's why the corrupted lieutenants of the Stone Hive had to die first. Considering that those revolting insects possessed immensely durable armor, Soul Reaper had been chosen to strike them down. Her dreadful aspect, after all, allowed her to ignore all forms of physical protection. That did not mean that the rest of the irregulars were going to get it easy. Even without the strongest abomination, the rest of the hive was more than capable of tearing a few humans apart, unless the humans destroyed them first. This time, the terrain they had to fight on did not give the irregulars any advantages. They did not create a lay-wait formation where the melee fighters held the enemies off the front while the archers pelted them with arrows from the back. The small human forces were destined to be instantly surrounded. That's where Sonny came in. Most of the irregulars created a defensive line, slightly higher up the slope, while the ranged specialists continued to shoot arrows down the other projectiles over their heads. The lines bent on the crescent moon, so the abominations could not attack them from the sides. He stood behind the formation, holding the cruel side and breathed deeply. His task was simple: to not let a single nightmare creature attack the human forces from the back. Let's go. The tide of Stone Hive soldiers broke against the blade of Soul Reaper's glaive, colliding against the defensive line of the irregulars and spilling over it. He saw the massive abomination sliding past him from the sides. Slow down. They turned around and scurried back up the slope. His fourth shadow was just returned to wrap himself around the blade of the cruel sight. And at the same time, the Dying Wish called upon the enemy's fourth. Sonny dashed forward with stunning speed. At the same time, the shadows around him seethed, and then exploded forward with 4 long, powerful tendrils. Each tendril pierced the cascade of the nightmarish insect and tore its body apart. A moment later, the cruel sight shone with furious white light and slid into the thin cracks between the thorax of the head of the fallen abomination, turning its soft inwards and brains into ash. Lovely. Sonny twisted the spear, decapitating the appalling creature. To his surprise, even without its head, the insect continued forward, trying to skewer him into 2 long segmented legs. With a startled snarl, Sonny crashed into his shoulder and sent the heavy monster flying back like a cannonball. At the same time, his shadow tendrils twisted the shot forward, breaking the legs of the several more abominations. Joshua's mind works in mysterious ways. The one... Can you make him for members first? What does that mean? What the fuck is going on with chat? Wait. Okay, and if I go back here... What the fuck is going on? Oh! Okay. Okay, because you were writing a lot of weird fucking messages that had me very, very, very fucking confused. Chat is losing it today, it seems. No, it wasn't that. It was Nightshade being fucking weird in chat for a minute. I'm watching 2 streams, so confused in the chat I'm writing it. Why are you watching 2 streams, brother? Pick one. Blue, fuck off. Thank you. Nightshade talking to 2 at once, yeah. Bit of a slag move, can't lie, mate. Bastards, do you really think you can touch me? Pathetic bugs like you can never hope to kill a noble cockroach like me. Sonny. You can't be... Right, yeah, I don't know why, but I do often forget Sonny is very cringe. Suddenly, a mad smile appeared on his face. Grinning like a lunatic, Sonny spun in the growing tide of Stone Hive soldiers, killing them one after another. Right after the Red Colosseum, it was not hard for him to shadow nightmare creatures. Oh, right. I forgot he can do that. Even though BCU abominations like these did not possess sentience, let alone refined battle techniques, they still had unique instinctual behavior patterns and characters. As such, he could mirror and predict their attacks just as well as he could do with humans. In fact, it was much easier, but also much, much harder. It was not difficult to pay into the essence of those ferocious combat instincts and adapt to them, but doing so put him at terrible peril, and it was hard for him to not lose himself. It was hard to remain human. Luckily, there was an anchor that held which made Sonny a person together, his true name. Lost from Light. With its help, he would always return to the formless depths of the Shadow Dance, no matter how far he drove into the strange embrace. Stone-like critting cracked and shattered. Blue limb... The fucking... I swear I've seen this word like 4 times, and I always forget what the fuck it means.
Lymph.
I don't know why I pressed play on that one, I can't hear it. A watery liquids are created for the lymphatic system. Lymph, right. Shot into the air, broken mandibles and segmented limbs rolling past. Severed by the ruthless blade of the cruel sight. For now, Sonny managed to prevent any nightmare creatures from getting past him. Most fell into the murderous frenzy because of the dying wish and aim to kill him, and no one else. A few that managed to shrug the effects off were dragged back and killed by the long man... what the fuck? Malleable shadow. Oh, there it is. I'm back. I forgot he said the line there. Yeah. Our favorite edgelord, lost from like only sounds cool in English. I'd imagine. But a noble cockroach sounds stupid in every language, I'd have to imagine. The same thing when it came to Ivory. It was so confusing when it came to referring to the tower. What do you mean? Yeah, no, to be fair, Harsh, that sounds mean. If you switch languages, nothing sounds cool. That is true. Say any Bonkai ever, they all sound fucking ridiculous in English. Every single Bonkai sounds fucking stupid. There were more and more abominations attacking him, though. And among them, much more powerful creatures suddenly appeared. An ominous feeling brushed against Sonny's mind. What the hell? He could have sworn that an especially large insect had been barreling towards him just a moment ago. 4 tremendous growths of darkness within the body reveled that the giant abomination was a fallen devil. But now it was gone. Where is it? Before Sonny could find the answer, the mountain slope beneath his feet suddenly split open, and from it, a hungry maw appeared. Too close and swift for him to escape. Chapter 861. Entombed. The ground split open, and the head of the massive insect appeared from beneath. Sonny was thrown off balance, and much worse, there was no time for him to suddenly dodge the attack. He couldn't even use Shadow Step. Crap! Before he could do anything, the maw of the fallen devil closed around one of his legs. Sharp mandibles scraped against his grave, smearing revolting mucus all over the bleak steel of the undying chain. The good news was that his transcendent armor turned out to be too tough to be bitten through by the damned abomination. No matter how hard the creature pressed with its jaw, the armor graved refused to bend or even be pierced. It also withstood the corrosive effects of the liquid ooze from the insect's maw. Perhaps things would have been different if Sonny did not possess such a high divine affinity, but with the brilliant will enchantment reinforcing his armor, it reached a stupendous level of durability. Bad news, however, it was that Sonny had Sonny was completely immobilized. Even if the fallen devil could not bite off one of his legs, there were countless other abominations that were dashing forward to press the attack and rip him apart. Every armor had its cracks, and the undying chain was no different. Let go, you filthy bug! Sonny reversed his grip of the cruel sight and thrusted it down. His strikes were powerful, that the incandescent blade pierced all the way through the impregnable cretin of the insect, cracking the thick plate protecting its forehead and melting part of it away. Despite the terrible wound, the devil refused to die. Even with its listless black eye turning into liquid and evaporating, it rose from the ground when viciously jerked and the upper part of his torso, swinging Sonny into the ground. What do you mean? I'm not even going to bother trying to understand what half of that fucking means. I know it means lost from an egg, but I'm not going to try and understand what any of it means. Ruined by the lightning. I love Ruined by Lightning. Okay. Sure. Despite the terrible ruin... yeah. No matter how tough his armor was, at that point human bones would have been snapped and shattered. However, Bloodwave sternly held his femur and tibia together. It hurt like hell though. Slamming into the rocks, Sonny stubbornly thrusted his spear deeper into the devil's head and then briefly glanced at the approaching soldiers of the Stone Hive. Following his command, the Shadow's tentacles shot forward and crushed a few close ones. At the same time, two dark hands appeared from his lower torso and grabbed the devil's jaw, trying to pry it open. But it was no use. The creature was just too strong. The fallen devil possessed a wicked intelligence too. Seeing that neither its bite nor its slam managed to damage the thorny opponent, it decided to change tactics. Instead trying to savage the enemy, the giant insect simply clenched its jaw tighter, and then dove into the ground, pulling Sonny in with it. The solid stone parted the ground like it was liquid. No good. Like every human, Sonny harbored a deeply rooted fear of being buried alive. And it was that exactly what was happening, pulling dozens of meters into the solid stone. He was going to be buried under the crushing weight if the devil let go. Perhaps it was exactly the bastard's plan. Before that could happen, however, Sonny snarled and thrusted the crowsight even deeper, pushing it into the body of the devil as far as he could. At that exact time, he commanded the spear to assume its maximum length, and then sent all four of his shadows of his body into the somber blade. Augmented by it, the divine flame summoned by the dark mirror enchantment suddenly grew even hotter. For a moment, it seems as though the giant insect became illuminated from within, the blinding light escaping from the cracks of the cascade, and then the devil contorted a terrible convulsion. A few seconds later, it was immobulated from within, turning into nothing but an empty blackened shell. You have slain the fallen devil. Stone Titan flee. Ugh. Your shadow grows stronger. Sonny shuddered, feeling his heart turn cold. That's great, but the devil was dead, and so the unnatural power dissipated. The stone surrounding them turned into a solid state, encasing Sonny in a cold, inescapable coffin. There was no light, no room to move, no air to breathe. Even a master prodigious might digging out the impossible. A creeping horror entered his mind. Luckily, Sonny was not just any master. Stretching into the shadow sense forward, Sonny simply used Shadow Step to emerge from the trenches of the darkness above ground. The cold air of Antarctica had never felt so sweet. The inhospitable, dim sky had never looked so beautiful. Suppressing the desire to fall to his knees and take a gasping breath, Sonny swiftly looked around at the and breathe. Sonny swiftly looked around to evaluate the situation. What? Lost from wrist sounds better. He had only been absent from the battlefield for a dozen heartbeats. But in that one clash, in a clash like this one, just a few seconds could mean eternity. Just as he suspected, things were not looking great. His absence left the rear of the human formation wide and open. The tide of Stone Hive soldiers were already flowing up the slope. Approaching it, most were well outside the range of the effects of Dying Wish. This was really, really bad. Sonny's eyes widened. I have to come up with something, fast. Since there was no time to think, only a single idea came to mind. It could lead to a lot of unforeseen circumstances. But forced to act immediately, he did not see any other choice. Commanding the extraordinary rock to rely on his command, Sonny barked. Samira, Kimmy, turn around and open fire. At the same time he did, he dismissed his armor. As both his soldiers unleashed a hail of bullets at the flood of abominations approaching from the back, the undying chain disappeared into a swarm of sparks. At the same time, whiffs of the black flood swirled around his body. For a few seconds, Sonny was left without protection. Ignoring the chilling fact he dove into the mass of nightmare creatures, rampaging between them as a dark frog slowly coalesced into a different suit of armor. Luckily, or rather due to his panicked effort, no attack managed to land on his body in the time. The glossy onyx, ominous lines integrated the ancient design. Finally, the mantle of the underworld wove itself into existence. His shadow slid onto its black surface. He merged it with the dying wish, was suddenly augmented by the underworld armament enchantment. Halogem is an insect blood that is pronounced. This is the pronunciation of Sunny's name in Russian. Right. The nightmare creatures advancing near the rear of the human formation slowed down and stalled. Then, froze in place. And then, one after another, they slowly turned around to peer at Sunny. Subjugated to an almost palpable pressure of immense hatred and bloodlust, he nervously smiled. Come eat me, bastards. Look, I'm very tasty. No man that's 5'6" should ever be, looked at as, tasty. Ever. With fervor and frenzy that made him shudder, the massive nightmare creatures... That was such a strike for no reason. that was such an unnecessary strike. My bad. Ooh, chapter 862, Soul Reaper. I don't know about tall. The Death Wish enchantment worked. In fact, it worked a little bit too well. Damn. Sonny was drowning in the tide of nightmare creatures. No matter how strong he was, no matter how fast he was, no matter how well he understood the attack patterns of the Stone Hive soldiers, there was just too many of them for him to handle without paying the price. The mantle of the underworld sustained more than its hits. The Onyx armor mostly held, for now. What little damage it had sustained was swiftly mended by the Living Stone enchantment. His body beneath it, however, was hurting. There was no holes in him yet, but it was just a matter of time. If there was one good thing about the situation, however, it was that the irregulars were completely safe from being attacked from the back. Sonny was holding the massive abominations advancing near the rear single-handedly, killing more and more of them as he desperately tried to survive. By now, the snow around him had melted and the rocks were covered in a ferocious blue lymph. Scavenged carcasses of the nightmare creatures littered the ground, and free shadow tendrils were rampaging amongst those who remained. The fourth was being destroyed by the fallen abomination, whom Sunny had finished off with the shining blade of cruel sight. The twilight enveloping the summit of the mountain was long gone. High above, the constant stream of lightning tore the darkness and the cloud sky. And on the mountain slope itself, a chaotic flash of light produced by the winter and the overawakened in the bloody battle with the Stone Hive creatures in a strange and beautiful illumination. Sonny himself was surrounded by nothing except for the darkness, however, since the Shadow Lantern devoured any light that reached him. I can't go like this for much longer. No one put you in timeout, Kirbs. What? Unless all of them put you in timeout. Which you shouldn't have the ability to do. I almost forgot to ask. Are you gonna ask a stupid question or a good question? Did you reach Shadow Sleep at 2 a.m. last night shirtless? My brother in Christ, it was 20 degrees last night. Why would I ever put on any fucking clothes? I have a timeout on this channel. Oh, yeah, no, I've put you in timeout before. I know that. I'd also, yeah. I have never hidden the fact that I do not sleep with clothes on. Sleeping with clothes is fucking uncomfortable. And when did we get to 25 likes? Am I crazy? I don't remember getting there. What the fuck? Hiya, baby girl. Hiya, baby. It's time to grab the fucking creatures. I should probably put this on this screen. Ow. Let's. Alright, make the fort. They look identical, but they're very different sizes. Why are you being like that? Why are you you can swap places. That's fine. No, you just want to be on top of your sister. Alright, let's put you back. There you go. All for amen. Josh and the echoes of kittens. For harsh reasons unrelated to harsh, myself. Mom in the back going, what the fuck you doing with my kittens? An overload of cuteness. An overload of Kirbs. I mean, I guess, yeah. But no, she's just outside the gate. Because... outside the cage, because she's been in it, like, all night. It took 4 fucking days to get Rhea used to being in the cage with the kittens. She would find a way to get out that bitch. It was fucking infuriating. Oh my god. Fucking bitch. I can't go on like this for much longer. His only solace was that he did not need to go. He did not need to. Soon help will arrive. Sonny just had to hold on long enough for Master Jet to finish off the corrupted lieutenants of the Hive and join the battle against the lesser abominations. Slaying the score of corrupted was not something that Sender was supposed to be able to do. But he had faith that Soul Reaper's abilities, after all, even Sage will warrior and fighting her. Speaking of Colonel Jet, killing a frenzy of fallen beasts with a devastating slash of the cruel sight, at the same time piercing the head of the awakened monster with a ghostly blade of the Moonlight Shard. Sonny's used to the cascade of dead creatures to bury himself. The moment of reprise and glanced up the higher slope, where Soul Reaper was in a similar position to him. Drowning in abominations, she was trying to hunt down the strongest among them before they could hurt her. Master Jet was moving with murderous purpose and terrifying speed, dodging the storm of attacks as she descended upon the corrupted after another. The blade of her glaive ignoring all physical armors as it viciously struck between the darkness-infested soul cores. All of it was very bizarre. It also gave him a better understanding why Soul Reaper was so feared by other Awakened. Very few humans possessed powerful means of defending themselves against soul attacks. However, she was not even delivering blows infused with soul damage. Instead, her glaive was somehow able to deliver physical damage directly to the soul of her enemies. More than that, it could bypass all forms of armor and strike the vulnerable cores. I love kittens. Have you named the kittens after the true cohort? The first 5 I have, yes. I love how bro kisses them goodbye every time. Yeah, you've always got to give them a goodbye kiss. He did name the other batch of 5 kittens. These 4, I don't know if I'm gonna name them for reasons I'll hopefully never have to explain. But yeah. Would it be wolf? Would it be raised by wolves or raised by tigers? Raised by panthers? New suggestion for Josh's true name. Raising kittens. Raised by dyslexic. Raised by dyslexia. I feel like would be a better one to go with that. It goes off the tongue better. Scary. There was more strangeness about Master Jet, though. She was just too fast, too strong, too deadly. Even knowing that her cohort was assembled by their abilities to augment the combat strength of the commanding officer, Sunny could not explain how Soul Reaper was so frighteningly powerful. And yet people in the comment section of the TikTok video did not appreciate me putting Sunny below Master Jet here. Her physical prowess alone was almost on par with his own, which was not supposed to be possible. Not only did Sunny possess more cores, he'd also managed to enchant with shadows, and yet he couldn't deny what he saw. Her battle style, meanwhile, was brutal and domineering, honed and perfectly sharpened to achieve a singular purpose, delivering a swift death and utter devastation on her enemies. While it lacked the flair and refinement, when Sunny looked at Soul Reaper, thought he felt something that he never felt before. It was the lethal weapon. It was the lethal weight of thousands upon thousands of deadly battles. He did not think he had ever encountered a human fighter that seemed to possess quite such combat experience. Her technique possessed a dark depth to it that he had not yet come to sense from anyone else. Not Pierce, not Wealth. I forgot those two existed. Fuck, I need to add those two to the ranking. Two high-ranking Knights of Valor could compare to Soul Reaper Jet. Not even Saints he had met. It made sense, in hindsight. Saint was serving legacy clans, so it might be more powerful, but they led very different lives when someone like Master Jet, a government always in short of personal resources. Are you good? What are you doing? Even so, more capable fighters serving had to do even more. Considering that Soul Reaper was possibly the most capable of them, she had also been given the most active government objectives. What it meant was that while Masters and Saints of the Legacy clans only understood the utmost importance of combat missions and enjoyed the sufficient rest between each battle, she had to deal with the emerging gates, rampaging nightmare creatures, awakened criminals, and other dangerous issues almost every single day. The Master Jet seemed a bit sleep-deprived. Battle after battle, day after day. Considering that she had entered the government service more than a decade ago, that would indeed make Soul Reaper one of the most seasoned human fighters Sunny had ever met, and at least in pure number of combat encounters and confirmed kills. Strangely, not even other irregular captains seemed as accomplished in battle and slaughter, despite being older than Jet. Suddenly, he was overcome with a burdened curiosity. What if I could shadow her combat technique? Ow. Ah, motherfucker. What are you doing, you stupid bitch? Get back there. Yeah, get in the cage with them. There you go. Shepherd of pre-reading. Since I did not have enough time in timeout, I guess. True name, lost from words. Aspect, pre-reading. His ability and predictions come true by all who understand his flaw. Broken tooth. His words become nearly incomprehensible. I hate that. I don't think... Do y'all know how I got my tooth broken? Now, have I ever explained that to any of you? Like, ever? Fuck. You fucking... That's weirdo behavior. Yeah. When I was 7, fucking, one of my mum's mates was babysitting me and, one other kid, and we went to, like, the local park near us. How old would I have been? George and Brooke would have been born, so I would have been about 7, 8 years old, something like that. And my front teeth were already, like, the teeth that come out first, like, immediately. And we were on the roundabout, and this one kid, I can't remember his fucking name, but I hated his guts as a kid, right? And we were all on the roundabout, we were all getting spun on it, and he pushed me off the seat. So I flew forward onto the metal railing, and my front teeth went through my lips. I don't know if y'all can still see it, probably not. Like, you can't see it there. I got a hairy, faint line. Very, very faint line inside my gums where my front teeth went through my lips. And it cracked on the metal railing. I was bleeding until I ended up going to the hospital. But at the time, I couldn't feel it. Because it's only through your fucking lip. So you couldn't feel shit. The only thing I could feel was the fact my tooth was cracked. But I remember my babysitters were freaking the fuck out. They were scared shitless. Rightfully so. My mother's a very scary person, and I'm a baby boy. At the time, at the very least. And I remember I got brought to my nan's because it was like babysitters, my nan's, literally a 2-minute walk. And then my house was like a good bit past that. And the park would be over there. Say, like, their house and the park would be up there. Like, we all lived fairly close to each other. I remember brought to my nan's. Still, my teeth are still inside of my gums, by the way. And still, like that. And I just see my nan go, "What the fuck?" She was angry. She was so pissed. So fucking angry at me. Until she found out it was another kid that did it to me. And fortunately, she knew who it was because he lived next to my old house. So she had a very, very unpleasant wording with his mother. But my granddad at the drive me to hospital, and I don't know how he kept it together. Usually he's the very hyper-emotional fucking, God fucking damn it, kind of person. Stone-faced. Stone-faced. Did your adult teeth never replace those ones? Those were my adult teeth. I had my adult teeth really, really fucking young. What happened to the other dude? I'm assuming he just got grounded for ages. Because I was bleeding everywhere. There was like a miniature blood trail from the roundabout up until the gate was. You must have gone up to a lot of shit. Oh, so much shit. I was a prick. I was a fucking prick as a kid. But everything that's ever happened to me physically, not my fault. Like, I've had both my eyes cut open. And I don't know if y'all can see just a tiny little scar there. That happened in an Apple store. That was in year 6. No, year 5. And then I had this eye cut open twice. Once by a stick, once by a rock. And the stick was because a kid twatted me in the face. But I couldn't see out this eye for a good fucking while because I had an eye patch up to it. Yeah, Zeus is just chilling. The cat in the background was like, what is this idiot talking to his monitor? What a weirdo. Yeah, I believe it. Something similar happened to me. I was sleeping over my granddad's, jumped off the bed, and my top lip kissed his wardrobe. Why are your eyes being cut open? This one I cut in the Apple store in year 5. It's the one in Liverpool. And the reason they don't have glass stairs anymore is because of me cutting my eye open on them. Because you could go underneath the stairs, right? It was like one of those kind of turn up stairs, but they had a glass wall pretty much near the bottom, but it didn't go all the way down to the bottom, so we could just go underneath it. So that's what we did. We talked to one of the tech guys, and we'd go underneath it, and he'd show us like a couple of the new phones and a new laptop that was coming out at the time. And a couple of us were just playing like a little bit too harsh and shit, so we just kept pushing each other, and I got pushed way too fucking hard, and I hit my head. I was like, "Fuck you," and I ran after him, and he slid. He was just small enough to get underneath the glass where it topped off. I wasn't, and I just went kink, and I cut my eyeball. I want to say like couple millimeters, and then my cut went all the way across there, and I couldn't see shit for a minute. Then this one, there were twins in my year called the Barker twins. This would have been high school at this point, actually. I want to say year 8. And they were bullying my cousin, so I socked one of them in the mouth. So one of the other twins got a big ass stick and fucking just twatted me in the eye. It did not go well for him though. And then The Rock, I still don't know what happened to this day. Right? I got up. I fell down, I looked up, and next thing I know, my eye is fucking stinging. I couldn't open it or anything. I had a little rock jammed right there in my eye, and I couldn't turn my eye or anything. It fucking hurt like a bitch. Joshua Kerrs bringing structural changes with full body commitment. But that's not to say all my injuries were not my fault. Like, I had fucked up my foot, like, really, really badly. Because I broke through the, I kicked the glass in my school. And I was grounded for, like, 6 months. Mother was not happy with that one. Can't remember the details, but I remember a rock hit my finger, causing me to go purplish. Glad you're okay. No idea how the fuck I can see. I have no idea how I've still got the best vision in the family. Checking on the fat ones? Get away.
Billy wants some pictures.
Of which one?
He wants any of them, he's not asked.
Give him the cute one. I see why your family's famous now. No, we're famous for various different reasons. I'm famous because my mum worked in a pub for like 15 fucking years, and she got up to all kind of fucking mayhem, got into all kind of fights, stopped a whole bunch of fucking fights between very, very not good people. So her name kind of got around. Also, good drinker. My entire family are good drinkers. Auntie, similar ordeal, but she was known as the reckless one. My uncle just got up with bad people. My cousin and both my eldest cousins, kind of topsy-turvy, kind of weird. Owen was always a social butterfly, so he always got around. And everybody fucking, like, knew Owen one way or another. And if they knew Owen, they knew my mum. And therefore, we all kind of... It was just like the whole fucking family just kept getting recognized by some fucking dickhead. And people only know me because they know I don't come out. They're like, oh my god, is that Josh? He's fucking big. Also, how is he 23? What the fuck? Like, people don't know my age. People don't know my middle name. People don't know my past relationships because I don't go out in my, like, hometown. Because I don't like people from my hometown. They're all fucking reform-folk and fucking toothless dickheads. So I don't bother. But anytime I do actually go out in my hometown now, people they recognize me instantly. Because both me and my mum have blonde hair now. So they're like, yo, Casties, oh my god, we love you, Cast. Our Cast is such a fucking wonderful being. We saw your George in the Royal, literally a bar right next to us. oh, we saw your George before. He was so nice. He was so cool. Blah, 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 blah. I felt so bad for Liv. I had warned her several times before actually going out. Be like, hey, if people recognize me, they won't shut the fuck up. And you're going to see me be incredibly rude to people. You're going to see me be really fucking rude to a couple people. And I did. Only one person didn't catch the fucking memo. God, she gave us both such a bad headache. Oh my god, she was talking for like an hour. Turned out she was only a year older than me as well, and she just wouldn't shut the fuck up. Oh my days. I remember just being like, love, I don't care. I don't care about your relationship with your sister and my uncle. I don't care about how my ma fucking raised you. Fuck off. Your family only blonde? Fuck no, my family has brown hair. It's just me and my mum dye our hair blonde. Have you ever been recognized for YouTube? I have been recognized on TikTok. A couple of times. And that's really fucking strange. We're going to 870 in this stream? No, probably 860, 865. On this stream. Because, for a fat minute, I'm probably going to sound like a schizophrenic weirdo. About a couple of speculative theories that I have for the series. 9 bitch, what the fuck have you got to tell me? Women. Women. Difficult creatures, let me tell you that. But yeah, no. There's a good fucking reason. Like, my family being well known where I live is the entire reason why I don't go out where I live. There's no fucking point. I just want to fucking just... Actually infuriating shit. Anyway, where was he? No Master Jet seemed a bit sleep deprived. Strangely, not even the other irregular captains seemed as accomplished in battle and slaughter despite being older. Suddenly, he became overburdened with curiosity. Yeah. At the level of a master, the battle style was even more than just one's own moves combined with the special material framework due to the What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my god, I thought the fucking prime got knocked over. Oh my god, I thought the prime got knocked over. Shit. I need more Josh lore. The broken tooth comment was one of the most successful derails yet. Now that I think about it, I know nothing about my family. Fair. I don't give a fuck. Do you need to wear glasses or contacts? What? Now you should give a fuck, Quibs. Find something fun to share with the next stream. Hell yeah, family time with the stream, baby. Lore drops after lore drops. Knowing that he was only a split second away before his own battle would continue, Sonny strained his eyes and peered beneath the surface of Master Jet's mortal shell. After reaching into the third step of Shadow Dance, his ability to observe and understand the flow of essence had vastly improved. So, however, what sure had made him shake and disturbed. One of the most interesting parts is that my mum's father is apparently some crime dude, and one of her brothers is a freak. Here's the thing, criminals aren't that bad. They're fucking weird. Like, they're not completely up there, but they're not, like, objectively terrible. Like, I know a couple gangs, like, for the bear mine 2 in particular. All of them are just kind of like to themselves. Bit ruthless, but to themselves for the most part. And it's all usually drug orientated. Which is why I don't tend to fuck with them, because bad history with drugs. And again, bear in mind the two that frankly I'd carpet bomb them. I don't think I'd think twice about it. I don't mind them. Druggies are fine. See, there's some lore. Yeah. Has 7 brothers. Fucking hell. Find a concrete story and bring it to the class next time. I'm pretty sure he was a gang boss or some shit. Before my dad turned his life around, he laundered money for the Mexican cartels. Hell yeah! I mean, like, bad. Objectively bad. But also, like, hell yeah. Law, baby. From what I know, Grandpappy on me mum's side of the family is in jail. She also saw a documentary about her family or some shit. Fuck yes! Yes! Conniving law bits about our lives. I love that. I remember I went on a night out. This is a weird detail. I remember I went on a night out, and I was talking to this girl, and she was talking about her uncle specifically, and how he kind of just, like, up and disappeared. Her uncle's name, Charlie. Charlie D. something. I'm not going to say the name out loud, right? I was like, You're a blank? She was like, wait, you know them? And I was like, yeah, I know specifically Charlie. I know him. I know him. And she was like, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. And we just kept that fucking derailed in the conversation. We revealed far too much information about each other and our family lives and our whole life when it comes to, like, drugs and shit. And, and the whole idea of being talking to this woman and her legitimately terrible uncle. Her uncle's a fucking prick. And she's like, I thought he just, like, up and disappeared. And I'm like, no, he's in France. Bro, he could be dead. I don't know. He definitely deserves to be. But the last time I heard, he was in France, just living his best little fucking life. So that was fun. I should probably find her again and see if she's ever caught up to him. Anyway, chapter 863, Fractured. Sonny had seen souls where they're radiant and full of light. He had seen some souls where they'd been consumed by spreading corruption. However, he'd never seen a soul like Jet's. It was lightless and shrouded in darkness, almost like his own. A singular, powerful core burning in the depths of the supposed... a single powerful core burned in the depths, supposed against her heart. The core itself was strange, bizarre, and filled with an eerie sense of profound unease. The ethereal orb was irregularly shaped and much larger than it was supposed to be, grossly overshadowing the size of the ascended core he had witnessed. Its surface was covered in a net of deep, twisting cracks. No, not quite. It was more like the whole core was assembled from numerous shards, as if it had been shattered once and crudely assembled back into an uneven sphere. Right. My family never did any weird shit. I got nothing to share. Sig just seems such a tiny bit would have been normal, but nothing seems like some buried shit. Hey, if Sig wants to gatekeep, let him gatekeep. Okay? He could be a cartel boss for all I fucking know. And yet he's still here. The patchwork sphere of broken shards shone with furious radiant light. It was brimming with a stunning amount of soul essence, which was more than the Ascended should have possessed. However, unlike most cores, one's radiance was not uniform. Instead, most of the light was concentrated in the depths, while the outer edge was dark and dull. More than that, thin streams of light were constantly flowing through the cracks of the shattered core and dismantling into nothingness. There was like water slowly sweeping through the cracks. Despite that, Master Jet's essence did not seem to be diminishing. Instead, as Sonny watched, a strange soul core only grew brighter. What the? At that moment, Soul Reaper had just slaughtered another corrupted abomination. This one had taken her longer to put down since the monster possessed 2 cores. it had destroyed each separate strike. As soon both perished, however, the creature twisted and collapsed to the ground. Then something strange happened. When the corrupted insect died, a flood of tainted essence seemed to rush towards Master Jet's fractured core. The remnants of the fetid darkness permeated when it was burned away in a furious light. As soon as the stream of pure radiance flowed into the brilliant center of the shrining sphere, Sonny was left very puzzled at what he'd just seen. He seemed a little troubled as well. So she can do the same shit as Sonny and Nephis, pretty much? That's kind of gnarly. That's okay. This is interesting. Master Jet, not only are you hot, you're interesting. Please choke me. I guess there were really all kinds of bizarre aspects. He was not one to talk. His onslaught was not exactly a picture of normalcy. In any case, distracted by the unusual nature of Master Jet's soul core, Sonny had missed a chance to study her battle technique. All he had managed to notice was that her flesh was saturated by essence and was much larger degree than usual. It was as if, unlike the other awakened, Soul Reaper's ability to reinforce herself with essence was not limited by the modest capacity of human flesh, or at least it had not limited so high to put the rest of them to shame. That would partially explain why she was so strong and fast despite possessing only a single core. It just went to show that having multiple cores was not only an absolute advantage, there was also a lot of strange and unimaginable powers out there, many of which could achieve the same results through different means. However, they weren't as versatile. Would I win on a fight? Would I be able to win on a fight against her? And would I be able to win on a fight against her? Sonny was not sure. He was reasonably confident in his abilities, but then again, as someone who often achieved victory through being underestimated, he did not want to fall into the same trap. Even if he had won, what would that cost? Losing one or two cores was not going to kill him. Most likely, being left in a crippled soul was small consolation for victory. Maybe that's why Saints were reluctant to fight Soul Reaper despite being much more powerful than her. And many people treated her with fear and resentment. Yeah, understandable. Fuck me. Josh, he's slandering me. For fuck's sake, what's going on? The fuck you... Saying please choke me out of nowhere. Gooner Josh. Hey, wait. Jet's abilities are some of my favorite within the series. What? Did some comments get deleted or something? No. Same I have to wear them everywhere. What did I say? I mean, the man has a good point. The really interesting thing is I can remember about me. The only two injuries that I've really lacked was lacked air at birth and a busted lip. Did I miss something? No, I didn't. You're just not being slandered, mate. Oh, phone's almost fucking dead. And we're 3 hours in? Fuck me, I'm sorry for wasting y'all's time. Sonny would have loved to ponder on these issues, but sadly his time was up. The Stonehive soldiers were already jumping over the cascades that he had used to hide behind, and the frenzy was just as murderous as before. Gripping the cruel sight, he lunged forward and pushed into the tough cascade of another enemy. Hundreds of nightmare creatures descended upon the three cohorts of the irregulars, with Soul Reaper diving into the tide alone to hunt one of the most dangerous foes. The initial clash was not obliterating as it could have been. Supported by Queen, her sharpshooting and the melee fighters held, but instantly surrounded. Behind them, Master Sunless, the youngest of the first company captains, was somehow holding off an entire flanking force of abominations by himself. Even if the irregulars had time to look back, they wouldn't see much except for a veil of strange darkness that refused to dissipate. despite the constant flashes of bright lights produced by the battle. All they could perceive was the deafening shriek of the dying nightmare creatures and the cracking noises of parting critting that resounded in the depths of the unnatural darkness, as well as the smell of sickening stench of burning flesh. One of the soldiers staggered back after killing another bug and briefly looked back. At that moment, a disfigured body of a massive fallen beast flew out the darkness and crashed onto the rocks, splattering the fetid blue lymph all over the mountain slope. It was more or less torn in two halves. Not cut, torn. The soldier shuddered. Josh, did I not start the Czech gooning epidemic? Oh yeah, you did. Far before anybody else was here. I got surpassed in EXP again. Captain Jack is back. A whole cohort of us down bad for her, but we all got infected by Quib for sure. What's the EXP even looking like? Jack at 375, Failure at 350, All In at 250, Sake at 200, Irish, Admin, Magikarp all at 200, Nightshade at 175, Harsh at 150, Harsh, Long, Lava King, Miguel all at 150. Harsh, you're doing terrible today, brother. And then it's all Silver King and shit and people who have not been typing in chat. But Artemis is in chat, apparently. She's in the fucking stream. She's just not typed. Fucking hell, Artemis. Yo, what are the lies of this on my name? Quibs, you're the reason we glazed Jet so hard in terms of the looks. Do you have a nickname, Josh? J.O. Kirby. All I'm seeing is truths. Sorry to tell you. Damn, you made a whole bot. Good for you, Quibs. Whole Jet AI girlfriend. You can admit it, don't worry. Yeah, no, Jet, we're not gonna blame you. It's Jet. Okay, Quibs? You're young. You're like, you wanna know how far this shit goes. I get it. I understand. You don't have to be too ashamed of it, okay? It's fine. We won't judge too harsh. We won't judge too harsh. What if the soldiers stagger back after... Oh, yeah. God, what kind of monster is that kid? Suddenly, a blinding flash momentarily turned the world white. High above them, two gargantuan forms clashed furiously, producing a deafening thunderclap. The whole mountain shook from a violent force of their impact. Cursing his luck, the irregular tried to throw an unnecessary thought out of his mind and launch back into the deadly melee. There were still hundreds of damn bugs for them to kill. By his side, other soldiers of the First Irregular Company fought with their lives. No one faltered, and no one allowed despair to poison their mind. Each of them gave it them all, full of determination and resolve worthy of the government's best. And yet, things weren't going too well. The enemy was too numerous, vicious and overwhelming. Worse than that, the cursed bugs were wickedly smart and coordinated. Something had to change, soon. Why are y'all trying to gaslight me? We're not trying to gaslight you. We're just trying to say exactly what you are. Which is a gooner to a point where you made an AI girlfriend bot. Have you seen the Jet fan art? 1 minute. Oh, wait, no, that's Morgan. I have one of Jet's somewhere. Just give me a minute. I have one of Jet's somewhere. I think I do. I should do. I've been collecting a lot more art recently. Chain dials? It won't be in the chain dials, will it? That's Mongrel. Nope. It definitely won't be in there. Nah. How many AI ads on short? Probably about like 16 billion if it's on YouTube. Oh, no. Never mind. I know where it is. Not even on the right server. It was you? Yep, it was you. It was you. Of course it was fucking Will, wouldn't it be? I don't feel comfortable putting this in the Shadow Slave server, but fuck it. If... No, I'm risking too much. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Who cares? There's this one that Will gave me a good while ago. This is before who I knew Keysong and Sylvain was. Nephis and Cassie, knew them. Jet, knew them. Keysong, no fucking idea who that was. And Sylvain, no fucking idea who that was. I was like, damn, the artists in this community fucking love to make the women hot. That's how I came across the fucking Morgan art. All the way up there. In the fucking server. I'm gonna just say join stream for context. Because I'm not gonna be doing that. But yeah, you see that and you're like, I get it, sir. Breaking the balance. I'm probably gonna make this the last chapter. But before I need to go fuck off and do shit. Cause shit needs to be done by 9 o'clock. Nope. Whoopsies. I'm double checking my fucking schedule. Will you let me see it? Thank you. Fuck. 9:30. Yeah. Should look at more fan art. Be spitting lies upon my name. We've not said a single lie. We all have clear conscience, Quib. We all have clear conscience. We've not said a single fucking lie. Harsh, you got it the wrong way around. Quib is the one putting the... I low-key never looked at any for Shadow Slave. I've had to look at a lot. And I mean a lot of art for the YouTube video. Ads on YouTube Shorts are fucking cursed. It's just porn ads. It's either AI porn ads or just straight up porn ads. Anyway, breaking the balance. I'm gonna read this, talk to you all for like 5 minutes and then fuck off. Stuck in the middle of the never-ending massacre, barely holding on, the sense of ruinous hint of exhaustion already sweeping into his muscles, Sonny knew that the battle was entering its decisive stage. For now, it seemed to remain on the fragile equilibrium. The Jade Beetle and St. Tress were clashing somewhere high above, neither of them capable of striking down the adversary yet. On the ground, Master Jet was fighting alone in a tide of nightmare creatures, seeking out the most powerful ones. She had already killed many, but her task was far from being accomplished. The Irregulars held, pushing back against the rapid onslaught of stone hives that had managed to avoid being overwhelmed, but could not throw the enemy back to go in the offensive. Even with Winter and her sharpshooters taking the most deadly foreign abominations, the situation was extremely perilous. I'm guessing y'all into reading 50 corrupted tyrants. Lord have mercy, that art is good. But when it's right in front of you can't be asked to see how hard he is trying to deny it. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even in Joshua's servers. That is true, he isn't. For what we know. Anyway. Welcome, Admiral, and welcome, Cop? Magicop, I thought you were already in the server. Or am I fucking crazy? No, that was Lava King. Never mind. Get mixed up. And finally, Sonny was protecting the rear of the formation. He was concentrating his share of nightmare creatures as well, but not anywhere near the prevailing against them. for every Hive soldier he killed, 2 immediately took its place. Neither side could wipe out the other. The balance, however, could be destroyed at any moment. Time was working against the irregulars for the most part. Since the soul essence and endurance was not infinite, the soldiers were going to have to keep up with the ruthless tempo of the furious battle for much longer. Have you ever seen Noptic's fan art, Josh? Have I ever seen Noptic's fan art? My brother in Christ. I want to say half my fucking characters list is Noptic's art. It is hard to get away from the fucker. I would join if my device wasn't a bitch and worked with Discord links outside of Discord. Kirbs, share your Discord then. Share your Discord name, and then someone can just invite you into the server. Wouldn't that be the most rational decision? Unless you just don't want to join, which, fair enough. Anyway. The only hope was that Soul Reaper would finish off the last of the corrupted abominations and join the fight against the mass of lesser soldiers soon. However, from the few glimpses that Sonny caught, things weren't going too well in the commander of the First Irregular Company. Master Jet had quickly dealt with the comprehensively weak corrupted, but now the most powerful of them remained. More than that, the Stone Hive seemed to have understood how much of a threat this singular human represented. With each second that was getting harder and harder for Soul Reaper to move and attack her target, she was probably going to be able to kill them all eventually, but it was going to be fast enough. Currently, Sonny was not sure. I need to do something. He had extinguished the divine flames burning within the blade of the cruel sight to conserve essence, and now fighting against the frenzy abomination with nothing but a somber silver steel. Mons of corpses surrounded him, and more creatures were jumping over the fallen breath every second to lunge at the harmful human. Fucking hell, I can't speak. My actual Discord name is there, so that Magikarp lol. I don't remember it. What do you mean you don't remember it? On a completely different note, I'm excited for the upcoming chapters. I think we all are. We managed to keep him from getting that far. Hope he won't read it offline. If y'all can tell me what chapters specifically y'all are looking forward to me reading, I will save it for Thursday. Sorry, Saturday. Or just tell me like the like arranged group of chapters, and I'll save it for the Saturday. Oh, someone else joined the server. There we go. The next 20 chapters. Yeah, no, brother, that's just not your name. There you go. I forgot the. There you go. I've added you. So, add me back. I'll let you join. Okay. Not the either. Which chapters are we at? We're currently on 864. And if it is within the next 20 chapters, Josh better at spelling than me. My dyslexia even higher ranked than his, I guess. Nah, not that bad. Not that bad. Trust. He had exhausted. What can I do? How is he supposed to break the balance of the battle in favor of the human force? He had already done his best to gain the upper hand in his own section of the battlefield, and failed. Preventing the soldiers of the Stone Hive from advancing at the rest of the irregulars was all that he could achieve. Changing the scales of the main front line was also outside of his ability. If Sonny chose to join the Awakened Fighter, they would gain a boost of inspiration from Dying Wish. However, they would also be forced to split the forces and defend against the attacks of two directions. Whatever benefit he could bring would be invalidated by the increased pressure. Assisting Master Jet was out the question also. Although Sonny was more than capable of slaying a corrupted abomination or several, it would take him some time. Not to mention that achieving the real results, he was going to have to abandon his position behind the formation of the irregulars. This and the last couple of chapters before reading this makes me think Sonny is going to be able to find and the ability to teleportation. You know what? No. I'll add it to the end of the stream because I'm going to tell you what I think is going on with the nightmare spell and shit. There we go. Hey, and Kirbs is in the server. Interesting picture, I suppose. Okay, Kirbs. Have you put the heating on? Okay, she didn't, thank God, but if... Nah, because my room got way hotter. It is so much hotter than it's been right now. And the window wide open? Very fair point. Very fair point. That's a brilliant question. Probably upstairs sleeping the heat away. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. The ginger cat has disappeared. More shit for me to do. I chose to be a hamster. You really got shafted by the spell and then. Increase the pressure. Assisting Jet was out the question. Yeah, I've already read this. And so only one only one compounded battle remained, dodging the endless fierce attacks of the bloodthirsty bug. He used one of his shadow tendrils to suddenly pull himself away from the advancing enemies and pierce the body of somewhat startled Abomination and a dozen meters further down the slope instead. Then he briefly looked up. Two giant shapes were entangled with each other high in the dark clouds. Arcs of lightning danced between them. Rivers of acoustic black ash were flowing through the air like clouds. His face was turning grim. It's too strong. I can't kill it. I can't kill it fast enough. But then again, did he need to? Deciding something, Sonny sighed and threw the cruel sight into the maw of the lunging Abomination. Then he closed his eyes and tried to forget about the fact that he was surrounded by a swarm of nightmare creatures, each of them driven crazy by the desire to tear him apart. The shadows unleashed from the small lantern. The shadows unleashed from the small lantern that was tied to his belt suddenly surged forward and formed a barrier around him. Even the tendrils that had been slaughtering hives of soldiers dissipated and submerged into the dark wall. Within the barrier, Sonny summoned Mongrel's warbow. As the swarm of scarlet sparks appeared in the air, the heavy bow shook the shadow cage as he concentrated around himself, and then another, and another, and another. Soon countless strikes were raining on it, shaking the surface of the barrier. Sonny had made the cage as durable as he could, infusing with his ascended essence, made it much more resilient than the armored hull of the mighty bullshit that he was once preserved. And yes, just a few breaths later, he was already crumbling. Wide cracks appeared on the surface, and then a sharp critting blade shot through one of them, scraping against the onyx surface of the mantle of the underworld and throwing Sonny back. However, it was enough. As the black bow appeared in his hand, Sonny commanded the shadow cage to transform itself immediately. It lost solidarity and substance. Instead, a long, sharp spike shot forward from the barrier in all directions. All the abominations were skewered by them, but most of them were scattered, stalled for the most part as deep scratches appeared in the cascades. Not paying them any attention, Sonny looked up and drew his bow. I feel like you should stream pretty much all of Volume 5, but especially from 869 to around 900, because the conclusion of the fight followed is one of the best mini-arcs in the novel. Josh about to jump off a cliff from all the slit ups. If only there was a cliff tall enough for me. If he jumps off a cliff, he's gonna make the Yoda sound again. 5 minutes, Orland! Nah, you're not going to timeout. You're not going to timeout. You're not going to timeout. Soul Arrow, Death Dealer. This time, the illustrious arrow that appeared to made air out of a pale gold appeared on a string. Its wide brow-head, which was perfect for slicing the flesh and dealing devastating wounds, was radiating a soft golden radiance. This time, it seemed to slow down. Sonny took aim, wrapped the shadows around the arrow, and then sent it soaring into the sky. Flying through the darkness, the arrow reached the target almost instantly. The target, of course, was the corrupted tyrant. However, Sonny was not aiming to kill it. He knew all too well that a creature like that would not be able to destroy by a single shot, no matter how much essence he poured into it. The golden arrow did not strike the milky white crit or pierce the creature's eye. Instead, he struck one of the translucent wings, tore it straight through and bit into the base of one another. At the same time, Sonny achieved the third achievement, Burden of Peace. Enchantment description. After Soul Arrow pierces the flesh of an enemy, the weight can be drastically increased. Lodged deep into the Jade Beetle's flesh, the golden arrow suddenly grew as heavy as the ship's anchor. Far below the monstrous tyrant, Sonny smiled in satisfaction. Try to fly away now, bastard. That's funny. That's pretty good. But I'll leave it there for now. Should I? Let me just skim. Yeah, I'll leave it there for now. I've got shit to do, places to be, and oh boy, I've got now 2 fairies to talk about. As you all should have known yesterday, the true corrupted tyrant reveals himself. What? For what? Speaking the truth. Josh seriously blue ball and goes like that? Correct. Josh will now reveal the fairy that he's been pre-reading. No, alright. I have done nothing from 10 a.m. to about 4 a.m. Nope, 4 p.m. was speculate on what the fuck is going on between Sunny and being hidden by the fate, right? Because all I was thinking about last night was, why was Sunny being hidden? It's the only thing that was on my mind. The Naked Josh fairies are the craziest. Woman, let me just... No, alright. I'm gonna look this way. Bro. Shut. I'm gonna do this for now. I'm just gonna look this direction where I can't see chat. In my pursuit of trying to rip. Here, you fat bitch. Move. There, I can get in. In my pursuit, all I was thinking was, everything that Sunny ever tries to do when it comes to actually harnessing attention is always taken away from him by either him by accident or by a completely different fucking person. The first time it happened with Nephis. Every single accomplishment Sunny had ever achieved within the Forgotten Shore was almost all wrangled back to Nephis being his light, which makes sense. She is the person that is being beaconed as a person of attention. That is her entire existence in this fucking world. Well, no, her entire existence comes down to changing the very fundamentals of the world to begin with. But that doesn't matter. This is the case of, like, driving away attention from Sunny, which is extremely fucking peculiar to me. And that's the first time I noticed it. I was like, that's kind of strange, but, like, whatever, right? Like, Sunny doesn't want the attention anyway, especially at that point. He never really craved it. But it's not until he gained the Mongrel idea, let it flourish, and where I noticed that Sunny really kind of craves attention, only in the evidence of validation, right? Because everything that Mongrel is goes against Sunny as a person. He's wearing the Weaver's mask and that he's completely refusing to use any of the Weaver's abilities. At the time, he never really had any of the Weaver's abilities, touche, but that doesn't really fucking matter. He never really used any abilities. And he'd also absolutely fucking refused to actually use any of the Shadow abilities that wasn't Shadow Dance. Hence the reason why the Mongrel persona exists. And you sat there like, huh, that's kind of fucking strange. Why? The one time Sunny's actively trying to do it for the attention, almost, basically, he doesn't get it. That's strange. The third time he almost gets the attention, the movie comes out, right? And it's like, that's cringe as fuck. G3, why the hell are you doing that? And then here we are again. At almost every single instance of Sunny getting the attention, Mongrel takes it up. They always skew it a little bit. He's like one of the most profound awakened of all time. He's one of the best warriors of all time. Goes against Sunny's entire narrative when it comes to him escaping the Forgotten Shore whilst being on Nephis' cohort. Then there's the idea that Mongrel is actually at Antarctica, but now it's being pursued as like a woman. Almost everything Sunny is still doing in the flood of Nightmare Gates is being pewed away by one thing or another, whether it be Master Jet's accomplishments or Saint and Nightmare being looked at as like Mongrel, right? The first thing I just see is that we goon for Jet. Wait, what? Are these fairies by Naked Josh or about Naked Josh? The by Naked me, okay? Naked, tired, very disoriented me. Anyway, everything about the narrative spews against that. Which makes sense for Sunny specifically, as he always tries to, like, pew away from gaining any real attention, but he wants the notoriety. Makes sense because he has the Weaver's blood in this system, as the Weaver is known as the most conniving and secretive out of the diamonds. And then there's the Shadow God. Do I need to explain to you what the fuck a shadow god is usually representing of? Correct. Secrecy. Hiding in the shadows. Everything about his existence is nice and intact in this fucking condensed little bubble of being, I will not be seen by anything. And I do think that is harbored by fate. Or his fated moniker. But why? Now, if any of you have been on previous streams, you would know. I do not think the Forgotten God is dead. I do not think the Forgotten God is dead. I think the Forgotten God is one of the only actual supreme deities in this universe that is actually alive to this day. And I think that for two reasons. One, the Weaver's death is leading to him trying to find a new Harbinger for the Forgotten God. Because of Elias' song. He wants his children. I'm trying to remember Elias' song off the top of my head now, this is bad. He wants his children. We will dream the Forgotten God, regardless of us being forgotten. Fuck's sake, I need to get that song up now. I'm gonna have to scroll far back. But that song is the entire reasoning for this, like, bizarre shit. One day, the gods will fall and reveal their lie. The one who sleeps will awaken to devour his children. Oh, and also all that is which is forgotten will be remembered and consume the world. Oh, us will dream the nightmare of the Forgotten God. That entire song alludes to two things. The Forgotten God wants his children, and the only thing that we know about the Forgotten God's children is that they are the diamonds, and they've reached godhood. And that the Forgotten God is currently asleep. Where the fuck is he sleeping? My only guess so far, and I said this in the YouTube video, and I've said this on stream at least once, is that I think he's at the highest level of Nightmare Gates. We know Nightmare Gates right now can get up to level 5. The highest level of being that we know of in the world currently are the Sovereigns, who I'm assuming are Supremes. So that's also level 5. Level 5 happened in America as well. But everything relating around this story has 7 in it, so I'm assuming he's at like the 7th level somewhere. What if the Weaver is actively trying to effectively rebuild himself via Sunny? Not completely, just enough to be worth something for the Forgotten God. And then hear me out. The Weaver's the reason why the gods are dead. How? Why? That seems fucking weird. He's only a diamond. And if we take the interaction with Hope as any sort of insinuation of how the power balance was, it wasn't necessarily that great. And if we take anything from Arias, the gods were powerful, but just not that comprehendively powerful. So there was probably a level of relativity. But you're telling me the Weaver killed them all? No. I think the Shadow God absolutely helped in that ordeal. And the entire reason why he helped make death an actual thing that he would be the proprietor of, is to make sure that him and his siblings would die in the pursuit of Weaver's visions. So why? Why? Hear me out. The Weaver had seen how the gods would die, and what would happen to both the waking world and the dream realm if only one god were to persist. So what if, in the inevitable beef that went down, somehow, someway, the Weaver's forbidden lineage was helped manufactured by the Shadow God to lead into a union to make Sunny. And the Weaver wants Sunny to be strong as possible to put down the Forgotten God. Do I agree with that theory? Do I agree with the messaging? No. I think that's incredibly fucking silly. I think that's really, really, really fucking stupid, and there's definitely a bigger purpose for Sunny in the world than to put down a fucking god, for crying out loud. But that is my only current theory that makes sense in my head right now, with all the contextual shit that we've got. And then my second theory, which has only been led by the Antarctica rock so far, and I have not Y'all won't be able to read that, right? No, it's backwards. Is that Sunny will... Oh my god, I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, Sunny will learn how to multiply. Why are shadows tangible things? Why? That's weird. I didn't reread the Kurt fight, but I remember vividly that he was able to actively attack shadows. And Sunny's whole fucking thing is that he has too much shit going on in his life for him to be anywhere. He wants to teach Rain. He wants to be at the school. He wants to help Nefesh train, right? He wants to help kill nightmare creatures in the dream realm. He wants to do all sorts of shit. And you're telling me only just now is he able to make shadows tangible? And he's also able to, slowly but surely, via Shadow Dance, able to copy people. Not only their fighting styles, but also nightmare creatures, which Soul Serpent will inevitably turn into, and I can't wait for that to actually fucking happen. Not anytime soon, like, but it will happen. What? So my only real conclusion is that with the ability of Shadow Manifestation and him deepening his understanding of the human soul, he will be able to multiply himself. And that one's very, very, very fucking new. And that's the only one that really makes sense in my head. Also, Sunny being able to... The idea of Sunny's personalized shadows. Creepy, happy, haughty, angry. Creep? No. What's the... Jack, where's that fucking tail list? Jack, where's your tail list, brother? What is it? It's... not here. Gloomy, happy, creepy, haughty. Right. And then any other personality he gains from that point forward are all able to just manifest because they're all just one big portion of Sunny's personality anyway. That seems very fucking useful. Especially for someone like Sunny, who is just incapable of catching a fucking break. My reading comprehension versus Josh's. I love Dark Souls 3, dude. No, that's Dark Souls 2. Anyway. Those are my theories for now. I think the Shadow God and the Weaver were working together and actually Weaver made Fated to go find someone like Sunny, a meek personality, to go kill the Forgotten God that is stuck in the realm. Hence why everything is still currently fucked, because they are still actively in the world currently. And that Sunny's going to be able to multiply himself. Those are the theories currently. I'm very confident in Sunny being able to manifest himself multiple times. I don't really know how to feel about Weaver basically constructing everything to do with Sunny. I really don't like that narrative. Especially when it comes to not only Sunny's name, his true name, and his purpose. It fucks with me. And I think it kind of goes against Sunny. But with everything that has been displayed to me right now, that is the only cohesive idea that I've got right now. And the more I learn about the diamonds and the more I learn about the gods will probably help flourish that idea out a good bit. I'm really hoping it flourishes out that idea. Or it's an idea that I get the fuck off. Because it's not one I particularly enjoy. But for now, I fucks with it. I still haven't come up with an idea on why certain things in the universe are as they are currently. Like, why can't diamonds be worshipped? Why, like, inherently, why? Does it have something to do with the Forgotten God? Does it have something to do with Weaver? Why? We know Weaver had priests. But, like, why? Why is that such a foreboding thing? I guess Weaver is a prick. But, like, it's so eerie to me. And I can't think of any fucking reason why. On how any of that would actually match up. But those are my only two theories that I feel confident in. Anyway, I'm gonna turn to you. I don't know why I'm turning all the way this way. I'm gonna look at you. And say goodbye. Because the stream is definitely ending now. I am tired. I am sweaty. I need a very cold shower. I need to be in 2 different towns within the next half an hour. I hope you enjoyed. I refuse to read your comments. I'm not going to read your comments. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to see how... I'm not going to see shit. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to ignore you. And yeah, thank you for joining. Sorry for this stream being really short. How long is this stream? Only 4 hours? That's sucky. But yeah. Goodbye. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope my absolute rambles were worth it. And yeah. See you tomorrow with the beginning after the end. Then Thursday with another tier list stream. And then Saturday with more Shadow Slave live reads. Or it might be a chill stream. I don't fucking know. Anyway.